to Simon. Okay, Chris, your call. Mitchell, just give it a nice high toss, mate.
Wing toss in the middle of Amy Stadium. Chris Judd to call the visiting skipper. The young fella's done a mighty job with that, and he has won, and he is kicking to the northern end. Carlton going to the northern end of Amy Stadium with Chris Judd winning the toss there. Not much of a breeze to speak of. I can tell you from the weather side of things, though, black clouds overhead. We've had a lot of rain this morning, so it is quite slippery. That traditional Amy Stadium bounce, it will really skid on. There are some blue clouds in the distance, so we're hoping that it goes in that way. But at the moment, some heavy clouds over top. Current temperature 12. But it will get up to 13, so still staying quite cool. On the GPS tracking side of things, players we're watching today, Nick Stevens from Carlton, Eddie Betts and also Cade Simpson. While for the Adelaide Crows, Nathan Van Berlo, Chris Knights and also Brad Symes. Now, Nathan Van Berlo, draft year of 2004 as far as the beep test goes, scored a 15.2, absolutely outstanding. In fact, topped that draft camp. And here at the Adelaide Crows for endurance running, Nathan Van Berlo is second only behind Brett Burton, so he does run very hard. Keep an eye on him today. Now, the weather we mentioned, very greasy underfoot. A lot of fans down here on the sidelines were wanting to see Malcolm Blight. I've had to sign a lot of autographs as Malcolm Blight just because you boys were too soft to come down here. What's going on?
Oh. I've got the GPS on Blighty today, and so far it hasn't registered yet.
Oh, beautiful. I love your work.
Now, the first, not surprise, but I guess the first move from the coach is that Nathan Bock has gone forward, Blighty, down to the goal square alongside Gill and Paul Pleasure.
Yes, he's done that the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's been good at centre half back, but he also can kick a goal and find the footy, more importantly.
So how are they going to kick the goals? That's the question. Well, there's a bit of rough stuff going on. Nothing too serious at this stage, just before the opening bounce, but as the defenders and forwards pair off, and we're seeing young Grigg go to Goodwin. It's a task for him. We're just about ready to go. Blues with some of their guns in the middle. Gibbs has gone to Thompson. We're underway. Marriage and Cloak facing off in the middle. Scotty Thompson trying to shake Gibbs, as he probably will be for much of the afternoon. Cloak with the first disposal of sorts. And Bassett over the clean up for the Adelaide Crows. Got runners on the outer side. Fev was there to make a difference, and he did. Well done from Cloak at the last moment too. Cade Simpson and Betts, the Blues involved, but plenty of Crows at ground level. Albert Shirley, who we don't think will be too far away from the side of Chris Judd, goes back onto him now.
So a bounce at half forward, one forward by Marriage. Umpire has plucked a free kick, and it's going to go Adelaide's way. So Tyson Edwards in the true centre half back position. Van Berlo making space on centre wing with some time, delivers towards Bock. Jamison with the fist. Paul Pleasure, outstanding last week with 5 goals. Cleverly brings it back to the top of the goal square, but Grigg did well, fisting it, double fisting it over for a boundary throw-in, and just letting Simon Goodwin know that he's going to be about today. Sean Grigg, the young blue.
And Michael, Van Berlo is running with Stevens as last time, and Shirley with Judge, as you mentioned, and of course Gibbs with Thompson. So pretty much as it was the last time these teams played.
Cloak reaching over the top. Van Berlo getting involved again. Little kick forward. Not 10. Thornton goes to ground. Needs to get it out here or will be in trouble. Well done by Gilly. Plucked it from Thornton's grasp, but was offline with the kick. So the opening score of the afternoon are behind to the Adelaide Crows.
And here they are setting up probably more a traditional zone, and they've brought their half-back line up. So they've added 3 to the back of this zone.
Season high 31 disposals for Nick Stevens last week. He brings it in. Austin, Cloak, Walker and Judd all in the mix. But it fell Adelaide's way to Vince, who sets off Goodwin. Deep kick to the square. And pretty steadfast there was Grigg. Now, Blighty, this is no great surprise at the start. They were trying to rough up Paul Pleasure on his shoulder, and the Crows are trying to protect him now.
Yeah, well, if I was coach, I would have got the medicos to put the tape on the other shoulder, so they're hitting the wrong one.
So Stevens from fullback. Oh, dangerous, but good stretch from Grigg, and he's taken the mark in the back pocket. And an extensive zone here employed by the Crows to try and prevent Carlton from exiting their defensive 50, and the kick from Grigg was pinpoint accurate, and the mark's taken by Scotland into Murphy. It's very stop-start for the Blues. Can't get much going at the moment. Switch of play now. Walker at half-back. Stevens. Handball. Carazzo loops the handball wide to Walker. Oh, look out. He was able to dodge a couple there, including Bock, and then kick towards half-forward. Russell in a good spot. Hasn't he been a revelation in season 2008? Off to Scotland, who kept going from outside 50, delivers to a vacant goal square and kicks the opening goal. Well, they had to work to get out of that defensive 50, Mel, but once they did, they moved it very quickly.
Yeah, and traditionally now with handball, and I mean that's probably what really set it up. And as we watch Scotland, very intelligent kick that. I mean, he didn't try and overkick it. Saw the goal square was bare. It's going to skid on, and a really smart kick, just by controlling the kick rather than trying to kick the air at the ball.
Very smart kick from Heath Scotland. He just gave himself enough room to get a kick across the ball, Blighty, and get it through for a goal. And he's involved again already with Gibbs. And they're surging for bets. Russell waits on the outside. McLeod, of course, had an injury and went in and had some work done a few weeks ago. He's back in the lineup.
Actually, the stats story during the week about the extra handball that now football does, and you just saw an example of it from that goal. As we just watch this throw up now from the kick in, and I'll get back to that. We'll just watch this unfold.
Well, it might not be much happening here, so Blighty might be able to keep talking. Although the umpire might. No, he doesn't ping him. Bomber Thompson saying during the week too, he was talking about how Geelong copied West Coast to get through the flood.
Well, you know why? There's been a rule change, and everyone's forgot the quick kick in from the full back there. You can chip it round and handball it, run it through the line in the zone. I mean, the game's changed because of a rule change, not because of footballers have changed.
McLeod up to the wing. Portpleasure, not this time. Thornton probably could have been a little more deft with his tap. Portpleasure gets involved. Edwards, good running. Van Berlo. You can see how hard it is for the players just to handle the going out there. Knights, he doesn't know where he's going. Now he's going forward to Gill versus Austin. And young Austin does it nicely. Good control via weight. And also Carazzo, and out to Nick Stevens, who was fantastic last week for the Blues. Getting loose. That kick, as you can see, a little imperfect and away from Simpson over the line and out of bounds.
Yeah, so just, Michael, do you agree with that? I mean, the handball has come about because you get a free kick now. You can kick it in as quickly as you like. Just hang on to it and handball. Because people are zoning. They're not going man on man. Easily stop, go man on man.
Van Berlo kicks from the pack and it'll trickle over. And, yeah, very true, Malcolm. And I think one of the things that clubs don't do enough of is get that first turnover from the kick-in because the clubs employ zones, there's always going to be free players, so try and turn it over as quickly as you can. Thompson now emerges, handball a bit too slick for Edwards. He finds it again, Scott Thompson, and kicks beautifully to Gill, who couldn't take the mark. Austin, good tackle. Gill, no support whatsoever. Eventually Bassett arrives on the scene and somehow shovels it to Shirley, to Thompson. Quick kick, and Knights through his hands. He's got time though. Will he get onto his left foot? Good tackle, Stevens, and he got him. Always wanted his left side there, Knights, and couldn't quite get there. And Carlton will relieve the pressure.
Gee, hard to take a simple mark for the Crows there, Blighty, wasn't it?
Once the ball's on the ground, this is, everyone at home should watch for this. When the ball's been on the ground for a bit, it becomes very, very difficult and slippery. If it's in the air for a while, it's much easier to handle.
Dowdy handles it all right that time. Had his second lowest possession total for the season last week. Michael Dowdy hasn't started in great fashion here with that kick going out of bounds on the full. And so it's Walker back in for his third game of the year. So they're getting their high draft recruits, Carlton, aren't they, up and running? And Walker was the high draft pick number 2 a few years ago. He had his injury problems, but he's back in. Jordan Russell, also another first-round pick, linking up with Scotland. Tough, hurried stuff from the Blues, gets them in and into the space where Fisher takes a pretty easy mark. And he can go back and try and kick their second goal.
And he wasn't a first-round pick. In fact, he was pick number 72 back in 2002. Brad Fisher has been a fantastic player for a pick 72, Malcolm.
He has, and it's just going to compliment him now, isn't he? I mean, we know he can mark and just needs a bit more, doesn't he? Just a touch more, just to get that next level.
Probably, yeah, they probably like, he's a goal-a-game man, and they'd probably like him to be a 2-goal-a-game man, I guess, Blighty.
Yep.
Probably in a perfect world, their third forward rather than their second. But here he is shooting for goal, and he's got his goal nice and early today, and the Blues lead by 10.
Well, there's no alarm yet, but of course, from the Crows. But gee, they've moved beautifully through the corridor a couple of times now, Carlton, and been found a bit wanting and zoning, as a lot of teams do now. Players getting free. Look at that. He's a key forward. He's 25 metres by himself. Amazing.
Knights and weight. And there's Chris Knights, covered 1.16 kilometres. Back in the centre. Chance again for Scott Thompson. Scrambles a kick towards centre half forward. Paul Pleasure in front. Was he pushed? No, said the umpire. Brown did well. Scotland tackled, but he got the cool handball off to Brown, who was under pressure. Marriage now. Little handoff to Van Berlo, who kicks towards half forward. And good mark taken by Bock. Too far out to score. Into the pocket. Out comes Gill. This time he holds on. And marks in front of Austin.
Oh, the odds. Give us some odds, Michael. You're a punter.
Well, he's not a great kick. Let's be frank. And he's kicked 2-2 in his 3 games this season. And his 10 matches in his career, he's kicked 11 goals, 12. But the ball drop is a little suspect. Can he get it right here? He brings it back. And good try there from Nick Gill, but offline. Margin 9 points in favour of the Blues.
Here we go. Now let's watch this. Right, this is not a quick kick in, but they've got chips available because they're out wide. You can go all the time. All teams seem to give that one up.
Stevens takes the mark, and he gets some calls along the line from Grigg. There we go. Now, is that far enough? It is.
Yeah, we can do this.
Now
Go
they
back
can start.
across.
Now they can do it. Now the run starts.
Yeah, and if he wants to keep running, touch it on the ground, bounce it, say okay. He's elected to kick, but if he didn't, there were handballs opportunities galore.
Perhaps he should have elected to kick because the Crows are swarming in numbers. Van Berlo brings Shirley into the action, but not for long. Simpson gave him the full run around, and perhaps there could have been a call for a free kick there, but the umpire deciding to let it go. And their interpretations on a greasy day will be interesting to follow.
Good contest all round.
Huge numbers around the footy. Edwards finds a way through. His kick not on line, and it's easy pickings for Jared Waite. Nathan Van Berlo started with 7 disposals in this game. Gill with 4. Scotland and Stevens with 5 disposals.
So we look at this situation again with Waite. Now he's got the 2 outlets in the back pocket. But he's decided to use them. No, he kicks to a contest. Now this is where the Blues will be vulnerable if it's a turnover. Gill off to Knights. Needs to get boot the ball. Can't. Edwards. Dowdy back to Edwards. And by this time, the Blues have been able to get back and man up. Well done, Judd. Interception off to Russell. Carazzo now from half back, and it's all open for the Blues. Favola takes it on the bounce. Needs support. Gets it from Stevens. Little chip kick. Fisher runs in. Can kick his second if he can find the handle. He does. A handball to Betts. Betts gives it up. Oh, straight to Edwards. Well played, Tyson Edwards. Gee, that was a great second effort, though, by Betts. Affected the smother. Brown back to Betts. What can he conjure up here from hard on the boundary line? Not much. Good tackle coming from the former Blue in Massey. And we get a boundary throw in Carlton's forward pocket.
Adelaide seem to have had more of the footy, even though the disposal counts about equal. But the Blues have looked a bit more threatening. Van Berlo's been heavily involved early. His 8th disposal brings it across to Symes, and then McLeod back over the 20 disposals last week. Only done that twice in the last 9 matches, Andrew McLeod. As the Crows employ this handball and carry and run that we've been talking about so far. Doughty and Berlo kept on coming. Here's Bock. He left it behind. Jamieson wasn't sure that it had gone through either. Stevens and Paul Pleasure. Just on a day like today, you love the clean pickup, and the forwards love it even more because they can get some great delivery. Gill wants to move it. He spotted a man deep in the pocket, and McKay just found the going a little bit tricky. There's a light push in the back for last week's hero in Wiggins, and he wins the free.
In the back pocket, Chips. And the mark's taken by Cruiser at half back.
Do you like this bloke, Michael?
Yep.
Every time I see him playing, he just does a few extra things.
Exactly. Yep. Just building very nicely. Russell did well over the top. I've been really impressed with Jordan Russell this year, playing as a permanent half forward. Average 13 disposals, 5 marks, and has really showing the faith that Carlton have had in him for a few years now.
Lots of tackles
player
as well, Chriso.
Judd, Simpson. And he drills the pass. Wasn't great. Well done by Murphy. Did it superbly. In fact, Stevens was poor. Handball taken by Campbell. Off a step. Edwards under pressure. Now here's a chance for the Blues. Griggs got it in space. He can run if he so desires. Decides to chip back to Stevens, who marks. Judd on his outside. To his inside he goes. He kicks. Brilliantly done. And that man Russell marks 25 from goal. As good as directly in front.
They're cutting a swathe through the midfield, aren't they? Carlton looks slightly cleaner going forward. And nearly every attack so far has been through this corridor.
This is the tricky bit for him now, Chriso.
Yes, set shots, Anthony. 1 goal 6 for Jordan Russell in season 2008.
And 211 his total.
Overall, so...
He holds the ball nice.
Well, he's a good field kick. He shouldn't have any problems here, Malcolm. He does. He misses. That is 1 goal 7 from set shots and 2 goals 12 for the year for Jordan Russell.
Well, I'd love to get a camera on behind him, and I'm sure they're working on that. But he just runs out too wide. He's got a nice style. It's where he's running to.
McLeod getting some early touches out to Bassett. Cameron Clark just checking where the mark is. Halfway stage of this opening term. Just a 2-0 game so far. Moran with the mark. Another one, another Adelaide blonde, Chriso.
Yes, there's a few of them.
And there's another one, Bernie Vince, who's been terrific this year and getting plenty of the footy, averaging 20 a game.
Great courage.
There's Wiggins. There's a lot of emotion about his milestone performance last week with 4 goals. This is Walker. Nowhere to go, and Austin was there as a bit of insurance, and he needed him. Lovely little turn from Mark Curley-Austin to half forward. Was that an interference against Van Berlo? No. Thompson. Great desperation shown by both sides, but some slick hands. Unfortunately for Walker, it's an Adelaide wall across half-back.
Rutten to McLeod, just got the handball away. And advantage paid, I think. No, Moran not quite sure what to do. Eventually he decides to kick and kicks it straight towards Wade, who marks. So wasted opportunity there for the Crows. They had advantage. Moran was in 30 metres of space and has coughed it up. Wait, wide to Cloak. Well, I wanted to get on with it quickly. Dowdy was aware of the danger and was able to gather the footy, but poor handball. In fact, missed the handle completely. Cloak back to Scotland. Brown. Now Wait, a second opportunity, and he finds Carazzo. Long handball into the path of Simpson, who waits at half forward. Kick beautiful towards Russell, who competed hard. Chance for Wiggins at ground level. Crows, though, have the numbers. Stevens has thrown it, says the umpire. He tried to get it to Massey, and the umpire has said he threw it. So a free kick to the Blues.
The bad news for Jordan Russell was that he actually got the ball and put it through for a goal, Chriso.
Well, it's going to come back, and it looks as though Simon Wiggins, perhaps the closest player, there was the infringement on Scott Stevens. So Wiggins now with an opportunity, and Simon Wiggins, in contrast to Jordan Russell, has kicked 9 goals 1 from set shots so far in season 2008, playing his 12th game. So from 45 metres, Wiggins missing to the near side. So a couple of wasted opportunities there for the Blues.
Certainly are. Just been good, haven't they? Getting that ball in front of the goals, and to say 2 misses, pretty costly. The Adelaide points have been a bit scrappy. All the Carlton forward moves have been good.
Now, was that play on? Eddie thought it was, but the umpire, who's the most important one, said it wasn't. Scott Thompson with the advantage of 50. Looks inside, sees Goodwin, sees Paul Pleasure, sees Gill, and now plenty of others as well. He's going to go via Shirley, who's still too far out to score. Maybe he's not. He's definitely not. He's found the goals. Well, he was when he got the mark, but by the time he ran on, he wasn't.
Hey, that's just,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there. We've got this 50 Eddie, obviously
So did Thompson play on? Should the umpire have called play on that situation?
Well, the umpire's got to call play on before he can go.
I understand that, but should they have called? Should they have called play on?
I don't think he went off the line. He sort of motioned to go off the line, but actually never did. So no, there was no call.
Well, let's have another look at the 50 metres which led to the goal. Bet's thinking here that Thompson goes.
Well, he takes 2 steps off his line there.
It's not a huge amount.
No, not a huge amount.
As you know, you've got to wait for the
But it's an instinctive game. Bet saw that he moved, and unfortunately, you've got to wait for that umpire decision. So back in the centre, coming in hard. Wiggins, Cloak hacked it out of midair, wide. Fisher, yes, in front of Stevens. And Brad Fisher started well. Kick and a half from goal. Favola and Rutten. Haven't seen anything of Favola so far in the match. Kick towards the full forward air. Oh, gee, Massey put down by Gibbs. Nothing too much in that. And a free kick to Massey. Umpire McInerney just having a word to Bryce Gibbs. If we watch it again, well, he took his eyes off the ball, Gibbs, didn't he? He went straight at Massey. So he's going to cop 50 metres. What did you make of it, Malcolm?
Yeah, I think 50 is a good call.
So the former Blue, Chris Massey.
Probably got him a touch high, didn't he? But his shoulder was tucked in, and was one of those. I mean,
touch late as well.
Yeah, 50's good call.
Bassett from the wing. Oh, gee, Scotland read it brilliantly. And there's a way and running in front of Symes. Betts has got to beat a couple here. Bassett with courage going back with the flight, marks at halfback.
And swings it into the middle straight away. The Crows back in motion. For a moment anyway. Stevens pinpointing for Gill. Trying to pinpoint. Gill did well. Got the hands clear. And Rutten on the overlap can deliver for Paul Plesiak. Thornton sloppy. Gives away the free.
Straight in the back, Brett. Hands straight in the back.
I've got a funny idea they might have clipped Hills then, and he just lost balance. Let's have a look. See that? Just, clipped the back of his leg, and Thornton lost balance and just cannon into him.
So Jason Paul-Plesiak kicked the career high 5 goals last week. Kicked 2 and had 15 touches, and the two sides met in round 6. He can put the Crows in front at the 20-minute mark of the opening term. Can't deliver. So what do we make of what we've seen so far, Blighty? The inside 50s 9-8. The overall disposals only 4 the difference. The clearances 8-4 Adelaide's way. What do you reckon?
Look, on weight of play and on effectiveness of play, I think probably Carlton are just slightly in front.
Double fister there from Massey, and they get a boundary throw in back inside of the wing for the Crows.
And yet Adelaide have had 6 scoring shots. I mean, 3 of those have been rushed, but to 5. I just think Carlton actually look dangerous, more dangerous going forward.
Carlton there ahead, disposal efficiency. Now umpires plucked a free kick here. And it'll come to Karatsu, who wasn't too happy with the treatment from Edwards.
A bit of feeling in this, isn't there? There's been a bit of...
Well, there's a lot to play for.
Yeah.
Handball wide to Gibbs, who gets the boos from the Crows fans. Kicks it high. Wiggins, and well played by Walker.
They're just thinking about what could have been, Chris O.
Yes. Exactly. Now
but for a different rule change.
Kick short, and Walker accepts the pass. So both shoulders heavily strapped, Andrew Walker. He chips deep into the pocket. Favola was held and must take the free kick. And Brendan Favola, the first time we've seen him this afternoon, will kick from 45, perhaps a touch more, but a difficult angle. Here's the infringement, and the right hand of Rutten over his shoulder. So definitely a free kick.
Marked it anyhow. It's a pretty good mark.
There's a start, no question about that. Big week for him, signing a contract to remain at Carlton. His first opportunity today to register a score. Across the face, and he's just scraped it in for a behind.
Tough pockets at Amy Stadium to kick goals from. The wind does swirl around a little bit. It's not that windy today, but there is a drift. Got to hit it absolutely perfect to get them through.
So McLeod bringing it into Doughty. The Crows cause advance to Massey. couldn't resist laying it off to McLeod, but his kick smothered, as you can see. Walker, interesting handball. Umpire says it's okay. Armfield comes running through, leaves it behind. Gibbs didn't. Armfield goes again. This is Scotland now. Had Murphy on to his right. Went longer, went for Favola and Fisher and Betts. This is what he's paid for, Betts. And unfortunately that time he just couldn't quite get the calculations right. Had some quick thinking there, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds.
We won't be eating tonight, Hutto. Boundary throw in. Chance at low down by Murphy. Got it to Fisher, who pulls it back across his body. That's a fantastic effort, but couldn't quite bring it back far enough. And behind to the Blues. Margin out to 5 points.
And McLeod brings it back in for Thompson, who, as we said, has been watched by Gibbs. This is his 5th disposal, but you wouldn't say he's had any real impact on the game at this stage. His early season form seems to have just dissipated a bit too, Scott Thompson. Blighty, he was running red hot about mid-year, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he's getting sat on, of course, and with Goodwin being out, they've had to share a bit more.
Massey heads towards the forward line again. There's a good grab ball for a kick to Bock. The free was paid first. Now, Paul Pleasure. Gill makes the first move. He says, I'm going long. Setting it up. Paul Pleasure has to wait. Gill came again. Blues defence strong enough, but then they have a bit of confusion, not exactly well synchronised. Somehow they stumble and fumble the ball over the line for a behind, and the job's done. Good fair grab from Bock.
Yes, playing well at centre-half forward.
Do you like him as a forward or a defender more, Blighty? Bock?
I actually think he sets it up better from the back. He's a good decision maker with his kicking from the back. But
dangerous kick back to Thornton. He just knocked it through. Good pressure coming from Gill. So another behind to the Crows.
4 rush though, Michael.
Yes. 1-7-13.
Juddy kicking out.
Very quiet. Just one touch to that.
This is the beauty of the game now, isn't it? You get a free kick back there. I'll take it on, captain. I just want to get a couple of kicks. There we go. Now I'll run.
Yep,
Give it back to me. Yeah, perfect. Got a stat.
He kicks it short and finds weight and keeps going, the captain.
How about that? Wouldn't you like to be playing doing that, Michael? Although you played at the back, didn't you? You shared it around with all your mates back there.
Tough job back there, Milton.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Wade takes on Bock and then decided to give the quick handball to Jamison, who also finds himself in trouble. But gee, he did it pretty easily, did Jamison. Puts boot to ball, searching kick towards Walker. Cruiser the crumb, if you don't mind, towards Judd. Beautiful hands from Chris Judd. Put it down, then was held without it. And he'll get the free kick. Little handball in there from Judd. And drew the tackle from Campbell. So Judd plays on, trying to create something at the back. McLeod, the big fist in front. Favola stood his ground. And Brennan Favola, 30 metres from goal, directly in front with an opportunity to kick his first of the afternoon. And that all made, Malcolm, because Judd took the initiative to play on, put the Adelaide defence under pressure. And Brendan Favola.
Can I just go back a bit further? I thought you would have picked it up. Michael Jamison was absolutely outstanding. He may be that next defender, the next good one.
He was cool there, wasn't he? So Favola from 30 metres kicks a goal. The Blues out by 9.
Well, it looked pretty simple, didn't it? Some good play from a defender, run through the middle of the ground by a champion, and kicked it to blokes in pretty good form, really. The push-off was good. McLeod missed the spoil, and then he kicked a nice goal at the end. An unusual hold, but it works for him. And Carlton just continue to keep their noses in front.
I just wonder whether at the end of the day Brendan Favola might be the difference, the only real tall key forward, true key forward in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good call, Chris.
And the other thing you've got to say, that's 2 marks he's had, and they've both been contested, hotly contested, and he's got hold of them. And Rutten's no slouch, we know that.
Well, of course, he started this round 2 goals behind Buddy Franklin, but Buddy stretched the lead to 10 last night, so he's got a fair bit of work to do in terms of the goal kicking. Not that that'll be on his mind. Armfield's been impressive when he's been running around in 5 or 6 games for the Blues this year, and he's adds good pace to them. Carazzo in the middle for Fisher. This is the 5th game for Armfield for the record. Inboard to Cruiser. Cloak's working his way around the 50. He's going to go longer than that. Fev's in the middle of a big pack. Brown waits down, but it's all Adelaide. Moran. Time to think about linking up with Bassett. Dowdy giving that run from behind and then spreading it wide to the wing. Thompson did everything but mark it. And because everyone was going one way, it meant that Thornton could go into uncharted territory the other way. And Favola was loose. Needs the next pass. Although Fev has been known to kick goals from about this far out at this ground at crucial stages. Thinking back to 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, when he landed that body blow on the siren to dispense with the Crows. He wouldn't have forgotten it. It was from the other pocket, but it's the same result. That is a stunning kick from Brendan Favola to cap off a very good quarter for the Blues. They turn with a 15-point lead.
Well, I'd have to say they thoroughly deserve it. Adelaide hasn't been as clean, but you just don't need that if you're an opposition team. That is a wonderful kick. Say what you like. He has got some freak ability about him, and a couple of goals. Good quarter from the Blues, Anthony. I have to agree. Yeah,
they're full of spirit. They lead 4-4-28 to 1-7-13. It's a huge Saturday afternoon of footy with final spots coming up on the line. Well, we noted there might have been a bit of feeling in this game in the first quarter. The Blues certainly finishing the stronger. Wonderful Brendan Favola goal on the bell. 4-4-28. To just 1-7-13, but several of those behinds have been rushed. Here's the flashback to 2004, Chris O.
Yes.
This was a bit more of a telling kick. Obviously, it was late in the match, and Fev had his lovely headband on. But he's nailed the goal. That was from one pocket. And he's pretty happy that day as he got the Blues home. Fast forward 4 years to the other pocket, right on the siren. This time the quarter-time siren. And he's done it again. So Fev certainly hasn't forgotten how to kick goals from the pockets out here at Amy.
60 metres he was from goal there. That was just a sensational kick.
It was a great kick from Brendan Favola.
I'd like to thank Anthony Hudson for remembering it, and the producers for actually finding the tape.
Right,
how good is that?
The GPS, Blighty, that's a picture of you running through there. Brad Symes has actually covered the most distance in the first quarter. Then Chris Knights and Nathan Van Berlin. Not a lot of difference in it.
No, look at the surprise has been Eddie Betts, who mainly plays a fair bit forward, doesn't he?
Inside attacking 50.
So that's quite interesting. And here we are. We're looking, boys, there with the Toyota hats on. Toyota have signed up another 3 years with the Crows. How good's that? 18 years. It'll be 21 years. Toyota have backed the Adelaide Crows, the Camry Crows. How about that? That is a great...
The old song was fantastic too. Yeah. Go the Camry Crows, wasn't it, Blighty?
Yeah, good on them.
Second quarter underway. Good opening here by the Blues. Gibbs ran straight into Douglas. Little fumble from Marriage. Judd swoops on the loose football. Couldn't control it. Bassett's got it. Now it's with Russell, the umpire, letting it go, encouraging the players to knock it clear, but it's not coming out. We'll get a secondary bounce.
Now, Michael, we've started with Toyota. We should finish this one off now. Carlton are kicking to the beautiful Grange Golf Course end.
Is that right?
Yeah, the southern end here.
Is that the course I towed you up last year?
Dreaming.
Chance now for Scotland. And he, very good opening quarter from Heath Scotland. He kicks towards half forward, Betts in front. Well done by Massey, though his handball wasn't great towards McLeod. He goes back in after it, Massey. Doughty. Oh, they're under pressure here, the Crows. Judd got his body in, try to get it back to Betts. Now for Favola. Walker, Betts, is it still in? I didn't think so. And the umpire was a little behind play, but he did notice that it was over, so we'll get a boundary thrown in the pocket.
We saw Heath Scotland there, up to 10 possessions. Doesn't he love Chris Judd being in the team, because he doesn't get an opponent anymore.
No.
Not a dedicated, disciplined one anyway. McLeod watching Betts. There's a bit of excitement between those two, and Eddie was ready to give us a little bit more there. Not quite this time. Fisher with the tackling, and the Crows are able to gradually work it out via Doughty. This is Carazzo versus Edwards duel. Good awareness from Carazzo as to where his opponent was. For Waite, who's their #1 rebounder. Advanced down the ground to fairway there. A moment for Gibbs. And now Murphy. He still gets an opponent. That could have been holding the ball. The umpire's a bit late on the call. He eventually paid it.
See if they can get this forward now, the Crows. It is absolutely open. Just hit centre half. Oh, okay.
Gee, 2-on-1. Well done, Jamison. Picked up though front and centre by Vince. Complete 360, then kicks it wide towards Bock. So Nathan Bock just jams it on the boot to the advantage of Van Berlo. Little fumble. Ball close to the line, confronted and corralled by Russell. Handball inside. Knights will want his left foot. He kicks it to the hot spot, 20 metres from Adelaide's goal. In from the side, almost Thornton. In desperation, he knocks it through. Another rush behind to Adelaide.
Taking no chances, the Blues defence, Blighty, are they?
No, I've got that down as a 5th rush point, which is pretty high for the start of the second quarter. Just, yeah, the forward line was open. And if Adelaide could have just moved it sweeter through the midfield and tend to look wide now, just going too wide sometimes.
There's that wide short kick in from the Blues to Stevens. And there's Heath Scotland again, roaming far and wide. The kick not that well placed for Mark Murphy. It seems that he's still drawing a tag. So they've identified Judd and perhaps Murphy as the two main ones to go to. There's Shirley and Judd. Marich is free. Advantage paid. Van Berlo takes that gleefully and goes for Paul Pleasure, who I thought was looking to lay the handball off there on the way through. But anyway, he's going to go back perhaps now and have a shot.
Well, it's one of those moments in the game, I think, that someone needs to kick a goal for the Crows. And obviously, this is going to be their best chance up until now. Good jump, isn't it?
I think he was toying with the idea of laying it off to Goodwin. Good mark, as you said, Blighty. And a beautiful kick from Paul Pleasure. Thank goodness he's out there.
Become a real player, hasn't he? He's really developed. You know, he's got the obviously a sore shoulder, but that is a really honest jump, isn't it? Jumped early, launched himself at the footy, and then a lovely relaxed kicking style. Missed one earlier, but that certainly makes up for it. More than happy.
On the injury front, guys, Simon Goodwin came in with a bit of a sore back, a bit of a fitness test this morning. He told Craigie he's okay. He's been moving well. Jason Paul-Pleasure with that shoulder. He's received a lot of off-the-ball attention from Brett Thornton, but standing up right there.
Cloak up high, down towards Stevens. Couldn't quite control it. And again, it doesn't look like it's coming out. We'll get another bounce. Scotland's got it.
One of the things about Paul Pleasure, Blighty, I mean, Kennelly's doing the same for Sydney, but he's a running half back, whereas Paul Pleasure's actually a marking small forward, and he's got to deal with the shoulder problem. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
Cloak out of the centre. Walker, yes, on his knees. Sliding inside, attacking 50, but I think the mark's right on 50 now. He brings it back to Scotland, who normally uses it very well. Kicks to the hot spot, 10 metres from goal. Fisher in from the side. Free kick to Favola, though. He was held. And Brendan Favola will come in and surely kick goal number 3 for the afternoon from 15 metres.
Poor old Brad Fisher. He took a great mark.
He did take a good pack mark. Just the left hand there around the throat of Favola. There was a bit of initial holding by both players, but that's what the umpire saw, and certainly there the free kick. So Favola, who kicked a wonderful goal to end the first quarter, pops this one through for his third, and Carlton get the quick reply.
He was just checking his stubble there, wasn't he, Blighty? That's what it looked like.
Well, there's the holding there. Both seem to be holding, and then that little left hand. Don't agree, Malcolm?
No, what I'm not agreeing with is that Ben Rutten's given away 2 free kicks. He's normally at what I call a clean fullback. In other words, he didn't give away cheap free kicks, and he's given away 2. So that means he is under pressure. And they're just ordinary free kicks.
What's your decision at home on the free kick? And here it is.
I mean, they both push and shove, and then he grabbed him in the throat. As I said, Brendan Rutten has been a clean fullback, and I like them. They don't give away cheap. He's given away 2 cheapies today, and that just shows that he is under the pump a bit.
Margin straight back to 14, so good answer as far as the Blues are concerned. There's Douglas mining in and getting it out all right. Thompson just thrusting them forward. Jared Waite with the acrobatics. And he can see that he's got men on the outer side, and men who like to run, like Cade Simpson, who has got blistering pace. Can he use it to his advantage? No, he can't. How often do you see that? A run, someone going at full bore, and not being able to just quite control the kick. Here's another look at the mark from Waite in the gully.
Beautiful.
Don't mind.
Well, actually, from that centre bounce, Looked like Nathan Bassett was free down one end and Jared Wade at the other end, and the quick kick was no good to the Crows.
Good kick into Massey, off to Knights. Centre half back towards Bock. Oh, gee, interference coming from Jamison. And the Crow fans will be happy with that. Nathan Bock quick to get on with play. High towards half forward. In the pack was Thompson. At the back, Thornton. Wobbles it towards the wing. Well done, Walker. Now he's got support inside. Decides a little chip kick around the body towards Stevens. Perhaps not the best option. Stevens made it look okay though. Handball back towards Judd, who fends off Douglas. Carranzo, Waite, look out. Well done, Van Berlo. Somehow Waite got booked the ball. But the numbers went out. Douglas off the bench. Brilliantly run down by Cruiser. Desperate stuff from Wiggins. Carlton have come to play at Amy Stadium today, and they tie it up. Shirley's got it, but it'll be bounced between centre and centre half back for the Crows. Look at this smother here from Matthew Cruiser.
Get him up, go to the ball.
How good's that?
Spills wide to Murphy, around the body, towards half forward, over the head of Bassett. Massey getting back, look out, well done. McLeod, cool. Now with Rutten, and he chips across the ground and finds Doughty.
He's done a lot of work very deep in defence, trying to create that run forward and the motion, which we see now as Bassett almost accidentally finds himself wandering deep into territory. That could have been holding the ball on Van Berlo. Advantage paid. Well, naturally was paid, even though there was no free kick. Scotland turns it to Judd, who sets it up. Fisher with a wrestle with Stevens. It was all clean, said the umpire. Handball from Edwards, and the Crows turn to concede. 15 points the margin.
Andrew McLeod with the ball, playing deep in defence.
Bassett just ran out of knowing what to do.
I'd like to see McLeod now. They're just not using the ball well enough going into the forward line. McLeod can do that. He's one player that can kick it good.
Talking of not using the ball well, spectacular mark taken by Simpson. High and long towards Walker. Couldn't quite get there. Just eluded his outstretched hands. And we'll get a boundary throw in the forward pocket. No, in fact, it's a free kick out on the full. So kick comes back in to Shirley. Now they utilise McLeod's run from halfback. Can he find a target? Poor Pleasure, good hands.
So that, if that kick was coming from the centre line into the forward line, it'd be more damaging.
Kick towards Gill. Advantage called as a free kick to Gill. Thompson kicks it towards Bock. Well done. Jamison got the fist in there as Bock attempted to try and mark it on his chest. And he's fisted it over the boundary line, and that was the free to Gill. Advantage paid there to Thompson, but a boundary throw in at half forward for the Adelaide Crows.
We really need one. Murphy, good little shrug for Waite and Gibbs. Plenty of options for him. Goes through the middle, straight towards home. Fisher didn't mark it, but Stevens leading the backup parade. Out via Grigg to Simpson, and just adjusted kick, didn't quite get Favola. Wiggins diving in. The onus was on him to deliver it, and he did, but Favola couldn't quite come up with the goods on the handball, and Edwards has got Douglas away. And the Crows bolting. Gill's going to have to be good. He was able to shrug Austin, takes care of him. He's got Judd to concern
Give
with,
it to him.
and he should have just laid the handball off. Had Thompson ahead, and they've made a real meal of that, the Crows. And the Blues are able to lock it up for a ball up.
Good heavens, can't believe he didn't actually move it on. It was so obvious. Have a look at this. He's seen him, looked at him. Thompson was 15, 20 metres by himself. There he is coming in now. Amazing that he didn't give it.
So a chance now for Judd again, and the umpire says held to him. Good tackle coming from Vince.
Now listen, this has been a really tight bit of 5 or 7 minutes of footy. Goal here from either side. Adelaide back in it. Carlton could skip away. This is a huge 10-minute, next 2 or 3 minutes, Michael, you think?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's pretty tight. No clear, easy possessions at the moment. Chance at the back for Murphy. Gibbs had to put his head over the footy. He didn't, earn the free kick. Advantage called. Now Murphy from half-back. Poor kick off. Stevens dropped the sitter. Chance for Doughty. He slips over. Murphy again, ball right on the boundary line, but he manages to keep it in. Tried to get to Russell. Shirley fell over. Russell didn't. Off to Armfield. Well played again by the Blues. The kick was smothered by Van Berlo. Chance for Simpson. Little hole by McLeod. Simpson goes back in after it and does well. Armfield needs to turn. Bassett. Fist away. Oh, superb stuff from Tyson Edwards off the Van Berlo. The Crows a chance here. Doughty off to Knights. No one deep for Adelaide. So Doughty, in fact, Knights' kick was very poor. Straight onto the chest of Waite and just panicked a bit there. And the Blues can repel another attack.
Well, they've both got one short. Waite, one spare. Waite and Bassett. It's Russian roulette at the moment.
Who's it favouring, Blighty? Is Carrazzo Marks?
Well, I reckon it favours the team in front.
Yep.
Isn't it? I mean, you've got to... Adelaide have to create to score, so it just gives them a chance not to do it.
Carrazzo didn't take Symes into account, who came off the bench but didn't mark. Great long ball. Again, Bassett closes nicely on Fisher. Makes the going pretty tough, as it is for all the forwards. The Crows' defence sorted out. McLeod for Rutten, stretching out. But Vince on the wing, really digging the deep ones in to take the mark. He looks up. There's lots of blue jumpers between where he is and the next Crow, so he switches inboard. It was smart thinking into Moran. Symes looking for the flash pass. We haven't seen a lot of good ones. Just his second disposal to the square. Little McKay waits at the back. It gets there and he kicks the goal.
Mark.
Somehow.
No, goal.
And they're within 10. So they might stick with it, Blighty.
I
should never have got there, though, really.
No, I'm just
Sure, that was a mark.
Yeah, I thought the umpire called it back. I thought he held the ball up in the air clearly.
Yeah.
Oh.
So goal to McKay. And here it is again. Let's have a look. I think we both thought it was a mark to Thornton.
That's a mark.
The umpire said no.
Only one that touched it.
So all of a sudden, margin back to 10 points. And that next goal that you talked about, scored by the Crows. Campbell and Stevens. Well done by Nick Stevens. Moran scraps it towards half forward. Pushing the back. That's just an unnecessary free kick. An obvious one. Adelaide player down off the ball. As Bock kicks to a loose player in the pocket, it's Richard Douglas, and someone is out. It's Paul Pleasure, I think. It's Paul Pleasure, and he has not moved, Jason Paul Pleasure. Just outside the 50, the crowd's booing. There he is. We didn't see what happened. It was off the ball, and people going to Walker. Walker was the one standing over him when he was on the ground. And the Adelaide players are, I don't know that they know, but they're certainly going to Walker. We're going to get a delay here.
Yeah, we're going to be able to have a look at it in a moment.
So that would be a massive loss to Adelaide. Now here it is here.
It was a ricochet, wasn't it? Wasn't it? It's Thornton pushing him into Brown.
Into Brown. Now I think Walker was the one standing there, and I think the Adelaide players thought, well, he must be the guilty one.
Well, they've now seen it on the replay here, so they should know that it's not Walker.
But it'd be interesting to get another angle on that, but there's Austin defending.
Just remember, Adelaide, you've still got the footing.
Just wait. We can have another look at the replay in a moment. We're just going to wait and see what happens with this little bit of angst out there. A bit of a skirmish.
He hasn't moved, and this is a dangerous period because the umpires can't, as they would normally do, bounce the ball and just play on, and players can get their minds off it because we've got to wait for the stretcher.
Well, this is where I'd like to see Chris Judd and Simon Goodwin do what they should do now.
Take their respective sides away from the contest. And
they're doing that. The umpire's doing it as well.
Yeah, but they should do it anyhow. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, Juddy's just he's pretty hard for Chris Judd. He's just coming back on the ground. So bad luck, Juddy. Couldn't you, mate? But
let's have another look at it, Malcolm, and try and work out whether there was any.
He's just a push.
And was there anything from the right hand there of Andrew Brown?
Oh,
it's a bit hard to tell.
It's gone to the shoulder. By the look of it.
Yeah, I reckon he must have just nicked him in the wrong spot. You know, it's one of those.
Stephen Brown, I should say. Yeah. Andrew Brown.
Just nicked him in the wrong spot.
Was there head contact in there? Do we think?
Look, there was. I reckon, this has been my take on it. lost balance with the nudge. As he's falling or losing balance, young Brown's just protecting himself really with the shoulder.
Yeah.
And I reckon he might have just clipped him in the temple. You know, that really soft spot that you can sort of do some damage in. That to me looked like what happened.
Okay, well, let's have another look at it and try and go. Now there's Paul Pleasure.
He loses balance.
So, and
it's the right shoulder of Brown.
Yeah,
he's almost protecting himself.
He doesn't move from that spot. He is gone. And I suppose the other big issue is how do Adelaide? He was there. He kicked 5 of 11 last week. He was their go-to forward. How can they kick enough goals to win today without Jason Paul-Pleasure?
Well, I think that probably. Let's see if the lad's all right.
Well, I was going to say that's the first foremost thing, isn't it? Let's hope he's okay.
Well, it's just like this. They've been. Tell you what now. I mean, he's up. He's good. Yep. Fantastic. I'll tell you what. This is where they're much better now. We talk about this, but this is all. We take this for granted now.
We've just got another angle, Blighty. Sorry, we can only just see it in this shot, we believe. Just not see it.
Yeah, just not. I just reckon he's caught him in the wrong spot.
He has. I mean, the way his right arm reacted there was.
I'd be interested. There's been a lot of talk on that test that players do now. They'll give him probably till half time and they'll give him the test. I'll be very interested to see if Jason comes back on.
He's a real favourite here at AAMI Stadium.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling that though, is it? You wake up, you know, terrible feeling anyhow. I think Andrew McLeod's now got to go forward. They're going to need another goal kicker when you get back to the game as we try and just.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's just shoulder. Yeah, just shoulder. Just almost accidentally got in the way, I would think.
So no repercussions for Brown?
Oh, look, I don't think so. I think everyone will have a look at it, but I think it was just one of those footy ones.
Okay, so here we go with Richard Douglas. It's been that long that I've forgotten that Douglas is about to kick for goal to make the margin back to just 4 points. From 30 metres, just slides it across the face.
Gee, if ever you want to, as a team,
we've got the crowd up too, wouldn't it? They're up anyway. But,
well, that last goal was still important. The Crows sensing they'll see one of their young heroes down. They won't quite know exactly what happened, but
well, this is where the Blues need to be steady and really sure about what they do.
Volatile stage.
It wasn't a good kick from Scotland. They're really desperately trying to go through the middle, Carlton on the way out, but it does open it up on the way back as McLeod finds out.
That's where he's got to be.
Ivan Maric takes the mark.
See the difference in McLeod getting the ball there? I'd rather him get 10 touches there than 30 at the back.
The problem is that if he's got an opponent and that opponent is always trying to get him back to the goal square, it's hard for him to get in that dangerous part of the ground.
Yep.
And that's the reason he was there, was because the zone that Adelaide employed.
Sure.
6 goals, 3. So Maric can kick a goal, and the young 22-year-old needs to here.
Oh.
And that will get the crowd to their feet. Back to a 3-point ball game. Got a few of them on their feet anyway. Most of them actually just stayed in the seat clapping. I thought they might, on a cold day, get a bit of exercise, Blighty.
The sun's out now. Look at that. They've got a shadow on the ground, Anthony, but it still looks like there's rain about, though, doesn't there? He's pretty pumped.
And Malcolm, the interesting psychology about when one of your players gets knocked out, taken from the ground, and how both sides react to it.
Sure.
Adelaide looked like initially reacted very well. Judd trying to do something about that. Stevens in the way. Van Berlo, good little spin and give to Bassett. Off to Thompson. Crowd really lifting the Crows here. Beautiful kick, Gill. Bounced straight off the middle of his chest, but he did well to go back and find the football. Then was dragged down by Gibbs, and his kick was rendered ineffective.
Well, I'll have to say, Stevens was right alongside him, and he didn't see him again. There was a handball on there. What?
Cloak. Back to Wait. Oh, gee, tried to invent something there. Carazzo made it look good. Gibbs. Walker. Shrug one aside. Back to, Carazzo, you're gone. No, he got the handball clear. Good strength, Walker. Grigg, good tackle. Box, gee, they're lifted their intensity levels at the moment, the Crows. Box handball through the congestion to find Edwards off to Gill, who just bangs it on the boot for a vacant goal square. It bounces through. Goal to the Crows, they're in front.
Bounced over the line and went back over again. It's a goal.
The Crows in front at Amy Stadium. They've kicked the last 3.
Well, he had to make up for it, Gill, because he's missed a couple of real easy handball targets. Let's have a look at this bounce. It goes over the line. Watch this bounce over and then back into play. What's this? There, Giz. And the goal umpire's happy, and he's made a really good call.
Hasn't the temperature gone up here at Amy Stadium? Just over the line.
Yeah, watch, this one's clearly over. Then that one goes back into play. Amazing. Apparently it's the shape of the ball that does that, Anthony.
Crows in front by 3. Action stations all of a sudden at Amy Stadium. Can the Blues respond? Walker thrust in amongst the action. And there's plenty of players to try and deal with in there. And the umpire deals with it by getting rid of them all, by paying a free kick. Still 7.5 minutes remaining before the major break. Scotland's away. 15th possession coming up. Favola surrounded by Crows, but it makes no difference. And as you said, Chris, though, in the end, he could well be the difference between these two sides.
Oh, there's another contested mark, and Rutten's right there.
Gee, it's too strong.
Yeah.
Pushed
Gee,
him
it's
out.
hard to push Ben Rutten off the ball.
Yes, it is. He's taken another one-hander too. It's 2 of the day.
Gee. What's Rutten's nickname? The Truck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he loves playing here, does Fev. We've seen him kick goals from angles. In fact, 26 goals in 7 games coming into today. This is for number 4. From 35, it's the sort of goal Brendan Favola kicks for a living, and he's popped it through. A very generous living that he now gets, Chris Ho.
Gee, look at that. That's just great forward play. One-on-one contest. Disappointing from Massey, perhaps. Massey had to be the 3rd man up to try and get over the top of Favola and spoil. And Favola just great strength.
He's had no right to kick 4 goals today so far. Really. Unbelievable.
Nathan Van Berlo, 6.5 kilometres. And heart rate there, 147. Hasn't even got into 3rd gear yet, Hutto.
Yeah, he's on the bench.
Chance for Judd. Trying to find the ball at his feet. Gee, a big pack of players around this. The umpire just letting it go. Sometimes a little dangerous when they let it go in that situation, but no damage done. And secondary bounce.
Sorry, Chris. So is there another area where, or a particular area where Adelaide have got on top in the 2nd quarter? Back into it?
Actually, no. Well, just they've got a couple more out the middle. Probably that's about all. But no, I don't think there's been any dominance. They've had a good 5-10 minutes, and they've kicked a couple. You know, and they were never out of it, but just
Symes in front. Vince, good fist from Brown. Thompson front and centre around Judd. Couldn't though get the handball away, but taps it to Knights. Good tackle by Judd. Now a chance for Vince. Brilliant smother coming from Gibbs. Brown on the up. Chance for Wade. Gee, they're under pressure here, the Blues. Edwards came hard at Cruiser. Gibbs has got it, but going nowhere, and the umpire will call for a bounce.
They're both feeling it there.
Just since the Paul Pleasure incident, the Crows have just lifted their intensity and their pressure has improved. No question about that. Chance now for Goodwin. Shirley. Now Carazzo. Good chase from Campbell, though Stevens has some good pace. Looking for Wiggins, who showed great courage running the same way as the footy and marks on centre wing.
He looks inward first and foremost. And that turns out to be okay. Simpson had some runners. Murphy then an escape clause. Favola popped up at the right time. Rutten went to ground and actually dragged the ball under. And he might be in trouble here, holding the ball. That seems cruel, but by the rules that was fair enough. Favola over the umpire. Forgot to take the hurdle. Got the handball off to Murphy. Wrong way, go back. And now that one's been pinged, even though he did appear to get a little handball away.
Surely the umpire things and just say, go back and have your kick. Don't they?
No, well, there's other umpires to officiate.
I thought he played on.
Yeah, McKay got it moving.
Yeah, but he got in his way.
Goes again to centre half forward. Goodwin, no opponent. Grigg fell over. Senses the chance. Goes for Symes in the pocket. And Symes takes it.
You're right on your angle.
Favola pleading his case with umpire McInerney about, well, the umpire doing him a road.
You still got to be aware, don't you? I mean, I don't think the umpire did a lot wrong, to be perfectly honest. I think Brett, he chose to play on.
Yep. And the umpire was in there.
Yeah. Had to give him the free kick.
So Symes coming across the course from Port Adelaide. And a wayward kick. Been the tail of the tape. Now let's have another look at this Favola. He's off and running.
I mean, he just wasn't aware.
Who? Favola or the umpire?
No, the umpire was. He tried to avoid him.
No, the umpire, if you watch it again, was charging straight in to try and man the mark. He was out of Favola's vision.
Heath Ryan is the umpire, by the way.
No, I didn't think he did much wrong.
Well, I disagree with you. Scotland's got it. Handball inside, little fumble from Gibbs, but time. And he does it well in the end to kick it and find Simpson on centre wing.
I'll tell you why you're not wrong. We disagree on the point. If that was a Crows player, he would have been caught holding the ball. So you have to sense what's behind you as well.
Wait, I'll come back to it.
Come on,
I'll come back to it. Jamison, loser a chance here, Milton. Jamison kicks.
Oh no,
Run too far. He's involved. I tell you what, Heath Ryan. He's involved.
No.
Now a chance for Vince on centre wing. The Crows coming hard here. Kick towards Bock, who's been good. Good fist from Thornton, but hand in the back. Says the umpire Ryan.
Is it true that his hero growing up was Darren Goldsmith? Never too late to get a little shot into Goldie, is it? I reckon.
Of course not. Bock off a step. You don't know about that.
Pick it up the chin.
Gilling from the side and free kick to the Crows. Which player's going to get it? Is it going to be Gill? I think it might be.
Moran, I think.
Moran, is it?
Yeah, Moran put out his hands to say, hang on, what about the free kick? And he got it.
Okay.
It is too. Have a look. He thought it was clearly in the back.
Hands in the back.
Stay away, Ivan. Hard.
Too hard.
Okay. Do you want to disagree on that one?
Well, it's hard to tell from front on with the hands in the back, and that's why it's so hard to umpire, because unless you're completely side onto the contest, you don't know. Moran from 25 metres, gee, he pops it through literally. Goal to the Crows. They're back in front. So Adelaide, Grigg comes from the ground. He was the player that infringed on Moran. And looks like he's gone up forward in the absence of Paul Pleasure, Malcolm, to try and give them a tall target up there.
Yeah, it is a bit of a different mix. Although Paul Pleasure plays tall, we know that. Moran wouldn't be quite as good on the ground at this stage of his career anyhow.
He's just got to get someone up there as a target.
Let's have another look. Was their hands in the back or some sort of interference? There was the hand in the back. Yep, from Grigg.
She's just soft in the back though, isn't it? But they are playing him. As long as they play him all day.
Yep.
The Crows are in front. Almost half time. It's still definitely time for another score. Murphy just hesitated and lost out on that occasion. Wiggins prepared to put his body in. The Crows have got the answers just for the moment. 4 goals to Brendan Favola. And they're all single goal kickers for the Adelaide Crows. There's Edwards improvising as ever. Goodwin has been deadly quiet, draws the high contact from Murphy. Quick to his feet. Thompson's away. Wait. Couldn't stop him. Thompson is a thumping kick. I wonder whether he'll think he's a chance from here. No, he doesn't, at least not initially anyway. He waited and waited and waited. And patience was a real virtue there for the Crows. And again, it's Moran to line up for goal. Let's just go back in time to that Favola incident and his conversation with umpire McInerney.
No, I disagree. I disagree because if it was, as I said, a Crows player, he would have had to feel and sense that there was someone there. and he would have been caught holding the ball.
Back to the moment. Back to Moran.
It's quite short, umpire Ryan.
To extend the lead.
Perhaps didn't see him.
He does only by 1. You having to go short people now?
No, I'm just trying to find an excuse. He came rushing in on Favola's blind side.
Well, you've got to be aware. If you're going to play on, be aware.
Well, he wouldn't have been expecting an umpire to run into him. Should be suspended. Scotland kicks it wide. Stephen's got to beat a couple. I'm talking about the umpire. Murphy feeds it back to Carazzo. Oh, gee, Austin's handball not great. Murphy made it look good, and he kicks into the centre of the ground. Now, here's a big chance for the Blues. Wiggins off to Brown, who gets the booze. He was the one that put Paul Pleasure down, but not a great kick, and cutting the angle. Well played by Chris Massey. And Bassett unaware, talking about being unaware, and he got a free kick from umpire Ryan, and the Crows can bring it out of defence. Rutten, but a dangerous kick, and the mark's taken by Simpson.
Who thinks about laying off the handball, but decides that he's going to go it alone. Fev is deep. That's the percentage play, I suppose. He goes for the pass into Wiggins.
Oh.
I'll be disappointed with that in the Crows.
A lot of finger pointing going on. Whose was it? Yours, mine?
Wiggins. Just on the 50. We said bagged 4 last week. So he's got the feel for the goals and where they are. And he's celebrating another one. Right on half-time, the Blues regain the lead by the narrowest of margins.
Yeah, it is probably the scoreboard at 6-11 to 7-6 says Adelaide had more shots, but there has been a lot of rush behind. It's been a pretty interesting quarter, obviously with Paul Pleasure going down, but
been a lot happening, Bloody,
and it's had been a bit of that niggle, hasn't it? There's just a bit of pushing and shoving. It's been entertaining enough. Favola, the difference. And some disputes with the umpire's decisions.
All right, siren about to sound, but before we go to our half-time break with Carlton leading by 1, here's a couple of the action-packed incidents from the first half. Carlton leading by 1. Chris Judd leading the Blues off. Here's the Paul Pleasure incident. Little push from Thornton into Brown. It's going to be difficult to judge because obviously Thornton was the man that started the contact. And here's the Favola running over. He's Ryan. Chris, I wants the umpire suspended for a trip.
Chris was a hard man.
Greg Swan, the Carlton CEO, who's going to join us at halftime, nods in agreement. But a lot to talk about from an eventful first half, and at the end of it, there's only 1 point the difference. The Blues way. Hope you're enjoying the action live around the country. Plenty more to come.
Career highlight there for a couple of young players playing Oz kick on Amy Stadium. The Carlton side out, the Crows, they are also out there. On the injury front, I can report Jason Paul Pleasure, great concern in the Crows camp when he went down. They spent a lot of time getting him right, putting the neck brace on as they took him off the ground. There was the incident there, a collision with Brown. He went down and he was out well and truly. The neck brace was precautionary. As he went in the rooms, they said he was talking, so they're confident that his neck will be okay. He won't take any further part in this contest. Chris Knights as well for the Adelaide Crows. A couple of weeks ago, you'll remember he had blurred vision. It's believed to be because of a disc out in his neck, so he's suffering as well. He walked off with the players at half-time and he's gone back down in the rooms again now. He doesn't look very happy with the situation, so he may well take no further part in the contest as well. For Carlton, late in that quarter, just before half-time, Eddie Betts went off. It believed to be a hamstring injury. He hasn't re-emerged. We'll have a look at the Sony GPS tracker now. You can see Eddie Betts at the bottom. His distance is down because he's had some time off. Cade Simpson, he's the biggest runner out there, 7 Ks. His heart rate up to 199. Nathan Van Burlo as well, a big engine there, 200 maximum heart rate. That's phenomenal. 6.8 Ks. These boys are really working hard.
Thank you, Corey. And a big half ahead of us here at Amy Stadium. The weather has fined up, hasn't it? As we check the score at the MCG, and the Bombers look like they might be just about doing enough to get home there against the Demons. So good footy played all around the country. Final spots up for grabs. Essendon stay in the mix if they go on and win there. And certainly a lot at stake for Carlton and the Adelaide Crows. And you can see by the way these two sides have gone about the game today that they've got enormous determination and desire on that front. McLeod Stephen Brown with a bit of dash to Armfield, to Jordan Russell, harassed by Doughty, and his tackling wins the day for the Adelaide Crows.
Gee, if it's no Knights, no Paul Pleasure, second half. Remember they had a famous win early in the year, the Crows, when they had a couple down for most of the game, 2 or 3, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And obviously Eddie Betts' absence will be crucial for the Blues. McKay, who kicked the goal in that second term as the Crows made their comeback. Moran, is he going to be the man? Sometimes grabbing one hand is better than grabbing 2. And Austin was onto that. He wins the free for the Blues. And now they can escape. Fisher just had to play on. Wanted to because he had Carazzo away.
On the wing, Carazzo delivers onto the chest of Russell. 2 kicks from goal between wing and half forward. Blues by a point, kicks it into the pocket for Favola. Oh, Bassett, who's got the job, it would appear, on Brendan Favola in the second half, just cut the angle and was able to beat Favola to the football. Favola, 4 goals in the opening half. He switches play to Massey, off to McLeod, and McKay again marking at half-back this time. Kicks onto the wing. Beautiful kick it was too. To Goodwin, who will look to cut inside on his left foot. In fact, just waits, not too much ahead. In fact, it's one-on-one contest, and more we see players not willing to kick to contest. He does eventually, but well read by Scotland. Got Douglas out of the way and drops back and takes a comfortable mark.
Oh, very uncompetitive whole lot, that, wasn't it, from the Crows?
17 disposals now for Heath Scotland. This is Matt Cruiser. Bryce Gibbs. And Carazzo, who has just an appetite for winning the footy, averages in the mid-20s per game. Simpson, good evasion into Austin. He's getting a feel for it for Favola. Was that in the back? No, it wasn't as a mark anyway. Favola turning around looking for the free, which was the sideshow, but the mark got through to Cloak.
No, he's got ahead, popped in front of him, fell forward. 5 corridor, please.
He's a valuable asset, Cameron Cloak, because he can do a really good job in the ruck, and he's dangerous up forward. He's that foil that Carlton need. Well, he's up and going.
They're desperate, aren't they, for both a ruckman and another big marking option up forward. So between Cruiser and Cloak, they can cover both. Absolutely vital. Ungainly looking kick, but celebrated with a Stephen Kernahan type goal.
Yeah, a lot of blokes have perfected this helicopter kick over the years, and I just couldn't quite get the hang of it, really. But
Sticks was about the best out of that, wasn't he?
Just beautiful, wasn't he? And here's another one in the Carlton jumper, exactly the same. But
well, we had a gun at in the old days in Collingwood. The chief executive now of Collingwood, Gary Pert, one of the best helicopter kicks of his era. So Cameron Cloak coming from the ground.
Yeah, that'll be right. Just nice and pumped up. Just kick the helicopter goal and get him off, because his adrenaline's running too high. We don't want him to get overexcited and kick another one.
And you compare that kicking style to
what are we doing?
To Gary Pert's, Chriso.
Yeah, very similar to Gary Pert. In fact, he was one of the best helicopter kicks I've ever seen. Good afternoon to you, Gary, if you're watching back in Melbourne. So a free kick out of the centre here. Gibbs off to Simpson, around McKay easily. Oh, there's a spiral intended for a drop punt towards full forward. Picked up by Rutten, off to Massey. Oh, gee, put Bock under the pump. Luckily gets through to Goodwin. Doughty, who off a step kicks to the vacant wing position, coming up to meet at Gill. Well done, he slipped Jamison, and Nick Gill's away here. Can he find a target? He kicks deep towards the goal square. Wrestling Vince and Thornton. Waite getting back first to provide support. Stevens getting back on top of him, and Waite, well, he tried to get it over and couldn't. Vince pushed off the footy by Thornton. Van Berlo's got to sit and wait. Well done, Brown, applying some pressure. Van Berlo found it at ground level. Thompson, well done, back to Marriage, who marks 55 from goal. The Crows, can they find something here? He kicks wide. The lead offered by Moran, who's proving to be a real target up forward. And he's marked 40 metres from goal on a 35-degree angle.
Oh, son, turn around. Look at this. He wouldn't have known if someone was in the goal square. It's a great lesson for kids, isn't it? I mean, you've got your mark. Just turn around and face the goal. See what's there.
This is Eddie Betts a few moments ago in the rooms. Doesn't look great from that, does it?
He's going to be missing it for at least 3 weeks, you would think. So here he is, Brad Moran.
Dr. Christian.
Well, he's done a hamstring according to Corey Wingard, so that's about 3 weeks, Hutto. Not a bad kick. It squeezes through. Goal of the Crows. And the fans are happy here at AAMI Stadium. And here's this man, of course, former Kangaroo. Is he the surprise packet? He started in defence with the injury to Paul Pleasure Malcolm. He's gone forward and having an impact.
Well, yes, he is.
Kicked a couple of goals.
Yeah, yeah, he's been an interesting player back in the team. So a couple's handy.
Maybe he thought he was destined to be a big goal kicker, big key forward. He wore number 18 at North Melbourne. Then he came to Adelaide and wore number 2. Same number that W. Carey wore at both clubs, I think, wasn't it?
That's a good get, Anthony.
Margin is back to 1. Gibbs coming off the half back with Thompson that time. So Neil Craig redeploying Thompson into the forward line just to test out Gibbs's defensive skills. As we've seen Thompson's ability to be able to kick a goal or 2 during the season.
Gee, the stakes, every minute this game goes now, the stakes just remain higher and higher for the position in the 8, don't they?
Does it favour either side as the game goes on, Blighty? Do you like the Crows more if it stays close longer, or not necessarily?
No, I think Paul Pisha being out and Knights can't come back, they've got one less to call on. That's true, that is true. But some famous victories have won against all the odds.
Tyson Edwards sharing it through the middle. McKay had time to draw and allowed Doughty to get clear. Drops a bit short. Stevens was awake to it. Well done, Van Berlo. Moran. Vince just couldn't get it to come back enough. And scores are level.
So Thornton to himself and no pressure. Adelaide zone not being able to get into place before Thornton could get away. He got it to Murphy, who kicks dangerously towards Austin. Symes from the back couldn't hold on, but a good little handball to Gill. Kick around the body, and the mark's taken by Jamison. Low down in fact, it's Waite. Low down in defence, who kicks across the ground to Carazzo, and Carazzo kicks to the wing. Stevens, well done, Douglas. Can he find it at ground level? No, good response from Nick Stevens. Fistigan over will get a boundary throw in on the wing.
Just muttering away there.
No, we'll see. Yeah.
Scores are level here at AAMI Stadium.
It's called the talkback button. It just didn't quite go down.
Simpson kicks it out of bounds on the ball.
Sorry about that.
Much to the delight of the locals here at AAMI Stadium. Scores level. Thompson. Who's going to get the Crows over the line? And likewise, I just wonder who can lift for Carlton. Chris Judd's only had 9 disposals so far. This is Stevens for Adelaide. High ball for Gill. Jamison, good Dower defender, does what good Dower defenders do, and that's spoil. Thornton looking for help. Stevens provides. Still a task for Scotland. Committed. Did he drag it under? Did he jump on the ball? The umpire says no, it's a ball up.
It was an excellent tackle then from Van Berlo. Got to his knees and just wrapped him up. Terrific stuff. Kept out of his back.
Cruiser gets Marriage. Vince. Sorry, Van Berlo. And the ball is over the boundary line. Douglas dumped. And Chris Judd saying, I'm being held on to. Just let the umpire know there. As we said, he's been restricted to just 9 disposals. Shirley's done a great lockdown job. Umpire just doing a circle around the pack, trying to get a bit of a view of the ground level action. And they get some more views from the fans. Cruiser with the tap. Miss Grigg. Gibbs went in hard. Shirley slicked by hand, but it's Carlton, Judd and Carazzo collaborating out of defence. Carazzo took a long time to kick. Maybe he took too long. He's not paid. Just didn't hold it long enough according to umpire Ryan. Just tried to bulldoze his way through Stevens, and that was effective as it turns out. Vince will go to the front and stay down. It might still get to him here via Stevens. It does. Sets it up for the square. Moran again. Has Austin got him covered? No! Moran with a little nudge. Perfect timing.
Yeah, that's well called. I wasn't sure what the umpire would see of that, but I think that's a legitimate little, just as ever so slight move under the ball. That's beautifully played.
And through it goes, and the Crows are back in front.
Now the Wayne Carey number-like has kicked his third.
Yeah.
It's a good. This is terrific. So they're just ever so slightly.
And not done with the hands, Malcolm,
no.
just done with the forearm.
Yeah.
Just subtle enough, wasn't it? Perfectly played by Brad Moran, and he might be the surprise packet up forward for the Crows.
His first 3 goals in AFL football have come in the one game, Brad Moran, and full of adrenaline, he's into the ruck.
Judd can't get clear.
Hang on.
And he's getting a little bit frustrated, you sense, Chris Judd.
This is a new move. Neil Craig's just made the move of the century. A guy's kicked 3 goals and didn't take him off the ground. He's put him in the ruck in the action. Wow.
Oh, I don't know about that. Free kick to Bok, advantage paid. No, he's caught it back. He didn't call it back when Favola ran into him, umpire Ryan, but he's called it back this time.
You're still on about that.
Bok from the wing kicks it wide. Mark taken by Van Berlo. Running hard to position is Massey. Van Berlo ignored that. Drives it deep towards the goal square. Marriage up there, couldn't take it. Oh, wait, tackled by Gill. Somehow got boot to ball, but only as far as Shirley. He's marked 50 from goal, and the Crows are coming. The crowd is lifting. Shirley, man, wasn't on the mark properly, and Shirley plays on and kicks a second goal. The crowd lifting here, and he did a similar thing in the first quarter, Robert Shirley, and that was poor manning of the mark, Malcolm. Basic football requirement, and it wasn't done by the Blues there.
You can't believe he got away with it twice, did you?
Oh.
Look at this. They all peel off. Well, he's not my man. Amazing. 5 metres makes a huge difference in a game of footy sometimes. Oh, this is needed now, isn't it? They need to send a clearance, Carlton. They've got to stop this. All the guns there. Judd, Stevens, Carazzo.
Robert Shirley, the unlikely multiple goal kicker, done the same thing twice, and that will make the Carlton coaching box very, very angry without the required manning up. He was able to run from outside 50 to be inside 50.
Well, it's just a basic skill of manning the mark, particularly around the 50-metre line. You've got to be right on the mark and certainly not let your player play on like that.
Moran doing it all at the moment. Stevens, good spoil from Jamison. There's Nick Stevens going in, but gave it straight up to Symes. Crows full of running. Unfortunately, the flying shot from Vince is astray.
Don't blame Nick Stevens there, because he was the one that made the running. Had absolutely no support from his Carlton teammates, as Thornton's short kick in is marked by Grigg. So the challenge ahead for the Blues, playing away from home, down by 13 points. They're led by as many as 16 in the second term, and the kick marked by Jamison right on the boundary line at left half back. Pretty stagnant, not too much ahead of him. So decides just to kick along the line, cloak the eventual target up high. Simpson almost. Symes kicks it straight into Fisher. Well done by Symes. Got it out to Moran. Massey sweeps it wide. McLeod on centre wing, looking for Van Berlo, and Stevens infringed. Didn't have eyes for the football, so Van Berlo quick to move it on towards Goodwin. Well done, Waite, although he couldn't get an effective disposal. Umpire said it was okay as Grigg clears and kicks it short. Mark taken by Fisher.
They're under enormous pressure here, the Blues. Carlton got to hang on here.
Adelaide winning all the key indicators, Blighty, in this quarter. The contested possessions, the inside 50s. Stevens heads for a rare venture forward for the Blues, but it doesn't last long at all. Massey was in the way. And now Doughty, they can just set it up again. This is Thompson on the end of the handball from Van Berlo. Goes long to the square. Can Marriage be as effective as his fellow ruckman? He might need to be. Yes, he does. He does need to be nimble in front of the sticks. The big man's doing it all for the Crows. And they're out to a 19-point lead. Where has this come from?
Well, I think your call was excellent. Moran and Marriage have kicked 3 goals between them, and Robert Shirley, not a noted goal kicker, a tagger, has kicked the other one. Where are they going to manufacture their goals from? Well, they've come from an unlikely source, but they'll be very happy about it.
Big Marriage has kicked his second. Moran's kicked 3. Shirley's kicked a couple. And the lead out to 19 points. In fact, the Crows have kicked 4 of the last 5 goals in the game. Moran doing it out of the centre now. Off to Symes. Doughty. Oh, dropping the ball. He had an opportunity. And he was well tackled. So the free kick to come back to Russell. Handball off to Murphy. Can he find the target? Favola going wide. Got rid of Rutten. Couldn't quite hold on. Good tackle coming from Massey. One on Favola. Got the handball away to Wiggins. And now a chance for Walker. What can he conjure up here? A banana kick. It's home. Great response from Carlton. Fantastic goal that from Andrew Walker. And good fighting by the Carlton forwards, initially by Brendan Favola.
Was indeed, Michael, and I think the game needed that. I mean, it's been good. It's been competitive all day, and Carlton have been like this, though, this year, haven't they? They have those quiet patches where teams can score quickly against them, but they've had that ability to rebound, and I was just thinking about that when they've kicked the goal. I mean, it's amazing.
Back to 13 after Walker's goal. Here's some stats from this quarter, Blighty. Favola just 1 possession. Judd just 1 possession. Scotland just 1 possession.
Yes, as I just mentioned, that they can go quiet, Carlton, and that's only because the ball's probably been less in their forward line at the moment. But they have these patches throughout the year, but have an ability to come back. You know, they've come from behind in a couple of great wins by the club, so they have that resilience and belief in the group. Yeah,
3 big, particularly 3 big come from behind wins. The last one was last week against the Bulldogs. Scotland's kick ineffective. Massey's very effective for Scotty Stevens to take the mark.
Stevens forward as well, and they just had to throw caution to the wind here, Craig, to put some players and hope that they succeed up forward.
Really mechanical looking player, Stevens, right towards the line.
Pushing the back.
And it's a free to the Blues.
Correct.
And Wait to take it.
It's a really dumb kick, by the way. To put it there is really not a good spot, was it?
Averaging 18 disposals per game is Jared Waite. Out to Murphy, who's had a pretty hard day at the office. He's coming in for his 15th touch, though, being able to escape out of defence. He's looking for mates, desperately looking for them. Didn't see too many down the line. Wiggins working hard. And here's Goodwin arriving. Sheer bodies winning out for the Crows. This is Bassett. They're just sharing it around. It's been a good trait of the Crows in this quarter. Scotty Stevens has got away again. He should mark here. He does mark here. Good play. And he goes for a needle in a haystack job through the middle.
Really?
Just couldn't thread it through. Oh, Scotland turns it straight over. Van Berlo. And then there's some hanging on. And it's going to be an Adelaide shot for goal. The ball went through for a goal, but umpire Ryan.
The umpire of the day?
Well, let's have a look at this. You just see Scotland grabbed his arm, so
maybe just
impeded him slightly, and it was there, but only just.
What do players say? Look at the replay. I haven't seen one umpire look at it yet. I reckon it's a waste of energy.
I've seen him look at it, Blighty, but not when the player asks him to look at it.
Well, that's why it's just a waste of time.
They're not going to change their mind.
No, of course they're not. They're not going to make themselves look foolish.
Concussion last week, Nathan Van Berlo has made a great recovery. And he's had a wonderful season, averaging 20 disposals per game. His kicking hasn't been that straight this year. Maybe there is some effects from last week, where he just had the 2 possessions.
So margin 14 points. Jared Waite.
Just said the goal umpire almost cleaned Jared Waite up there waving the flag.
Good kick from Waite. Finds Stevens. At half-back, oh, gee, Murphy's got to beat a couple. Easy pickings from McLeod, just over the top, fisting it over.
And just going back to that point you said about the goal umpire nearly getting cleaned up.
Here we go. Let's have a look at it.
Now, Michael, this is that the goal umpire's fault? He actually goes outside and waves a flag.
No, that's not his fault. That was Waite's fault.
Look at the look from the goal umpire too.
Yeah.
Indignant look.
No, well, the goal umpire was in front of him, Malcolm. Ball chance here for Austin. One way, then the other, away from Gill. Look out, son. Don't go too hard. And he got trips. He'll get the free kick. So Austin with the free kick.
Goal umpire Peter Challen, I think it is, down there.
Here's the trip
for the record.
No, it's a bit different, that one. Waite had the goal umpire in front of him. As wasn't the case with Brendan Fafoglu. The kick comes to the wing. Walker did very well to handball into the path of Judd.
Coming back, I think.
No, umpire Ryan very, very busy this afternoon. He's given a free kick, a down the field free kick, and it'll come back to Chris Judd.
Not much movement ahead for the Blues. Wiggins standing out as an option, but his lead dissipated now. Jordan Russell went in, but just couldn't drag the footy down. And the Blues just don't look like it at the moment, Malcolm, as we go down to Corey.
Yeah, boys, the concern for the Crows, however, is they're just down to a 2-man interchange, so they are rotating tired blokes for tired blokes. They really do look quite drawn when they're coming off the bench. Chris Knights, as we said, he's actually iced his hamstring now, so he's definitely out of it, and as to his Paul Pleasure.
Well, Murphy had escaped there, but the whistle had already gone for a bit of high contact. And it'll be Van Berlo again, up for 27 possessions for the day. So what did you make again of Goodwin's fitness down there? He's back on the bench again, Corey.
Yeah, Goody came in with a sore back, so he was underdone. He didn't get a lot of touches in the first half, but he just has to keep working through the rotations. Otherwise, they're down to one on the bench, and surely they couldn't run home from there.
This is McKay. Did that nicely until Gibbs was ready to pounce. Oh, Gibbs thinks it's going to be 50 here. Gibbs thinks he's got the free. And many people would agree with him.
It was a high tackle.
It was, but
I didn't think the umpire saw it because he was on the grandstand side.
I agree. I didn't think the umpire had seen it at all.
Here we go. See, it's obviously a high tackle. There's no doubt about that. But I actually did. Yeah, I thought the umpire had missed it.
And
McKay just.
Do we need to exercise some common sense in that situation?
I agree. Yeah, I think that's a pretty harsh call.
Which umpire was it?
Oh, I guess who?
Gee,
your mate.
Going hard at him today, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, have a look at that.
That is one of the worst kicks I've ever seen.
Well, that's footy gods. No, the footy gods gave it back to them.
Walker tried to just find a path when there wasn't one.
Give it up now on the full.
Walker reckons that he got a handball to it.
Play on.
Umpire Ryan again.
Thompson now. Handball back to Symes. Under pressure. And free kick to the Blues. Advantage paid now. Carazzo handball off to Walker. The run provided by Stevens. Little chip kick looking for Armfield and finds him. Back to Stevens. This is better. Sweeping handball was poor. Straight to Shirley.
Gee, yes.
Van Berlo. No, McLeod. Brilliant.
Gill. Easy.
Chips it.
No, missed him.
Edwards can run in from 45 metres, measure the kick and kick a goal for the Crows. Tyson Edwards has his first of the afternoon and the lead out to 20 points, the biggest lead the Crows have enjoyed. And Nick Stevens trying to make something happen there, just miscued the handball. And gee, Carlton were cut up on the way through.
Actually, Gill had got. I looked at and looked forward. I didn't actually see Edwards, who ended up with the ball, but Gill was 15 metres in the clear, so it's a great decision from McLeod.
Full credit to Adelaide, Blighty, but maybe, and it's a very early call, obviously, because this game is still very much up for grabs. But Carlton would be very disappointed, I think, with the way they've played since their early lead when they had those chances.
Yep.
Maybe it just shows there's a fair way to go for the Blues. But early days, and they know they can fight back, so certainly can't write them off. Good hard-working stuff it's been from Adelaide, hasn't it, too, to get firstly back in the game and then get away to this 20-point lead. Thompson.
As I said, I don't think this game is over by any chance. It's because of the Carlton's history this year.
Yep.
They've had that ability to bounce back when all seemed lost. So if I was a Carlton supporter, I wouldn't actually write this off just yet.
Oh, definitely not. They'd be keen on three-quarter time, I'd say, though, to just be able to regroup. Hurried kick from Knights, in deep for Moran.
Do you know what they have got is a very young defence.
It was actually Campbell that drove the ball in there, and this man Moran has just popped up. The Carlton young defence. Yeah,
Austin, Jamison, Grigg, those sort of players.
Yep.
I mean, this is Thornton, who's hasn't had a great day, I think, from memory there, from looking at that. But I mean, it is a very young defence. They look nice. They've all done a little bit, but under pressure, kids just can't find a way sometimes.
Moran, 16 disposals, 7 marks, and 4 goals. He's having a day out at AAMI Stadium. Get the tongue out like Michael Jordan.
Well, at the start of the game, we talked about the 2 forward lines, whichever midfield gets on top. And I think at the moment, Adelaide midfield's on top. And so the Adelaide forwards are getting a bit of a chance, and they are young. I mean, Thornton couldn't do anything there. That was on the wrong side. He was going to give away a free kick, so he chose to do nothing and hope that Moran dropped it, but that wasn't the case. That's 4 goals.
Look at that, inside 50s for the third quarter. Dominance by the Crows, and Brad Moran has kicked 3 goals in this quarter, 4 for the game. He was moved forward after the injury to Jason Paul-Pleasure midway through the second quarter when the Blues led by 10 points. Since that time, the Crows lifted their intensity levels and have played some wonderful football. As Rutten hands off to Bock and they clear again. It wasn't a great kick from Bock, and Carlton with the free kick on centre wing. Bock started up forward. He's moved back into defence, so Neil Craig has really swung the changes. It's worked off. Everything has come together for him as Carazzo handballs back to Walker, and his little chip kick is okay. Murphy, they need a goal here, Carlton. Murphy loads up from 45. Fisher in the pack at the back. Waite couldn't take it. He's having a couple of issues with the goal umpires, Jared Waite, but they're behind only to the Blues.
Contested possession count on the day. Adelaide 21 more contested possessions than Carlton. McLeod. Carazzo shoved out of the road. Made sure the umpire saw it. Surely not the same interpretation there as Meredith, the umpire.
All you have to do is actually just leave your body in a still position, and Shirley gets away with that rather than actually move it into the guy. I mean, he wouldn't have got it anyhow. Just a technique problem there.
Sits it up, hoping. That's about all it was for Carlton. There really wasn't it. A hope that Brad Fisher might be able to beat 3 players. And the Blues system has really fallen apart.
Well, it has. And early in the game, we were talking about their handfuls through going through the corridor. They've tried that a couple of times now, and the handball just hasn't hit. So once a skill error happens, Adelaide have been very good on the rebound.
Marriage doesn't mind throwing his body around. Got it down. The experience of Bassett and Edwards and Stevens
Good
called
stuff
on.
from Cruiser there.
It was. Young man full of energy, isn't he? Bounces around trying to do the right thing. And right now, the Blues absolutely gagging for a goal. Late in the quarter. Edwards, Stevens.
Gee, one here would be handy for them, wouldn't it? Absolutely.
Well, we've talked about their ability to come from behind, but hard to see them doing it in this game, mind you. That was the same scenario, in fact worse, they faced on that wet day earlier in the year against Port Adelaide, and they did on that occasion.
Van Berlo, and did very well, just disguised it. So a boundary throw in. Brett Ratton, Stephen Kernahan in the box, and a Blues supporter urging his team on. 25 points, the margin, just over a minute left in this quarter. They need a goal. Tied up by Stevens, and umpire Ryan comes in and will bounce. And I mentioned he's been busy, Hutto. 19 of the 43 free kicks have been paid by umpire Ryan this afternoon.
He's been a star.
And there he is, centre screen, throwing it up on attacking 50.
He's a ripper, number 14.
He is a ripper. Has he been? No, I won't go there. He will get another bounce. 45 metres from Carlton's goal.
You've made it very hard for him today. I think you've been a bit unfair, Michael. I thought it was a fair decision. I think he's been okay. God, leave him alone.
Perfect throw up by umpire Ryan. Gibbs. Going nowhere. Gee, there's a big pack of players around this. Adelaide really just trying to tie things up as we count down to three-quarter time to prevent the Blues. He wants the footy back and he gets it. And a good, quick, decisive, straight throw up again. Wide to wide to Murphy. And he tracks it over. Hutto, take over.
You're obsessed. You've got issues. 30,
He's become a star today, this lad.
35 seconds left in the third quarter. Urgency required from the Blues. You could see it in the face of Stevens and Judd. And Burlow's having a slashing game. One more chance for Carlton. Simpson runs his full measure. And he's just hoping against hope that Bassett will do something crazy, as he is prone to. But it doesn't cost the Crows.
So a few seconds left in the third quarter as Symes. No pressure as he runs from half back as the siren sounds. A very productive third quarter for the Adelaide Crows. They started the quarter 1 point behind, but they lead at three-quarter time by an even 4 goals.
Yep, and a 6-goal-to-2 quarter that would appear to have broken the game open, but we still have a fair bit of respect for what Carlton have done with this young team for the year. So, yeah, still a good last quarter to look forward to, I reckon.
No doubt about that. 24 points the difference, but Carlton are the kings of the comeback. We'll show you why they're still in it. Finals up for grabs after this. Well, I guess it really sets the challenge, doesn't it? If they are a genuine finals contender this year, then this is the sort of win that they'll have to produce today. Favola with 4 goals. Moran and Marich, the 2 ruckmen, have kicked 6 goals. We wondered where their goals were going to come from, and there's your answer. Let's go down to Corey Wingard.
Yeah, guys, the Crows fans here, they are anticipating a win. They can see their side on top and they can really sense a spot in the finals locking it away here this afternoon. But, of course, the Crows only have 2 on the interchange bench. Malcolm Blight mentioned that during the third quarter, and the players that were coming up looked spent, but more importantly, the players going on look spent, so they are really struggling in the engine room. Neil Craig talked about the intensity. They need to keep it up. They need to work hard. Their fitness will be tested. Brett Ratton, he just marshaled his young troops. He instilled belief in them. He said, boys, we can do this. We get going the first couple of minutes, we kick a couple of goals, we get a roll on, we've got the young legs that can run us home. This is going to be a ripping last quarter.
Well, the Crows did it against Port under similar circumstances, down on numbers in the first showdown. They lead by 24 as we get into the action.
Marich down to Van Berlo, Gibbs a chance, little fumble, gets the ball clear though to Carazzo. Oh gee, I thought for a moment he was going to bang it into the Adelaide forward line. Around Marich, Grigg, Gibbs. And now Scotland, loose player forward of the play is Murphy. Now Murphy can set something up here, ignores Favola, then gets run down. Handballed instead of Favola, and they've lost it. Rutten off to Shirley. Golden opportunity missed there by the Blues, and the mark's taken by Thompson on centre wing. Douglas comes up, in fact it's Goodwin, marks between wing and half forward, wheels onto the left boot, drives it inside attacking 50, going back Scotland. Ball to the back. Walker will be first there for the Blues to mop up. Steadies and delivers wide. And the mark's taken by Grigg at half back. Blues need the first goal. Austin has got it at half back. Oh, dangerous kick. Carazzo, all he could do was knock it into the path of Grigg. He's chased by Goodwin. Gains only about 10 or 12 metres and intercepted by Shirley. Support. Here they go, the Crows. McKay off to Marich. Oh, that wasn't a great handball. He's able to get it, though. Back to McKay to Bock. They're fiddling as well, the Crows. No free kick forthcoming there to Brown. And Thompson kicks, and the mark's taken this time by Douglas. Off to Doughty. Here come the Crows. Short, and the mark's taken low down by Vince. 55 from goal. Moran wants it. Instead he goes short, and drifting down, Scott Thompson has marked 45 from goal, as good as directly in front. And an opportunity here, you would think, to ice the game. Coming into today, Thompson, set shot kicking, 8 goals 2. And He's kicked 10 goals so far in the season. Had a great year last year. Third in the best and fairest for the Adelaide Crows, and continued his good form in season 2008. And
nice build-up.
Quite happening there offline.
Really nice. Lovely build-up, Michael. There's poor Pusher just walking around the ground, so it's nice to see him up. I suspect, as Corey's mentioned, he probably won't be back on the ground. It looked like a bad concussion.
You once did that walk while player was on bloody, didn't you, when you were coaching before the game was over?
Yeah, I just had a hearing problem, apparently. I thought it was a bit, just the siren went a bit late than I thought.
Murphy in the back pocket. Marriage in good shape to take another mark. Wait made sure he didn't, and collected Bassett along the way.
That's a pathetic response.
I know. But
I'm sorry for stealing your word.
No, that's fine. Chris Judd, we've seen him do this many times. He is in this pack. He will hit it at pace. Nearly smothered it. Just didn't get the momentum.
Flashback to your calling days there, Blighty. As Douglas escapes through. Oh, boy. They can't finish them off.
Gee, they're gimme, aren't they? You just got to nail them, don't you? You keep your spot on the side when you do that. He's kicked a couple of points, Richard Douglas, and they're the ones you just got to get. First of all, to get a gap in the scoreboard, and secondly, for your own confidence. This is where they were good early. Remember, they chipped it back in the middle, and they were using a handball. This has all become a bit stop-start for them. Just kick it down the line.
Carazzo. Brown push out. And umpire Ryan right on the spot. He pays the free kick.
That's the one I told you. You can't move your body. Watch this. You just have to stand, and the bloke will fall over you.
Is there anything actually wrong with that, though? But he touched him in the side, and the gill just dived.
Yeah, he did it on the replay. He certainly milked it for everything it was worth. Van Berlo off to Thompson. Tyson Edwards, he's normally pretty accurate from 35 metres. Kicks a goal for the Crows. Gee, the way it's looking, no comeback today from the Blues. The margin's 32 points. There's the free kick against Brown.
Olympics start next week.
Yes.
Yes, but the motion is to umpires see that push.
Yeah.
You just got to stand. Just turn your body, let him crash into you. Good kick from Tyson. He's a couple of important goals late, just when it needed.
We mentioned Nathan Van Berlo up to 11.5 kilometres on the GPS tracking. That is phenomenal. He is a running machine.
33 disposals for Nathan Van Berlo today. Judd is the man that has single-handedly got Carlton going, and a number of those come from behind wins. Just not having any real impact today out of the middle. Murphy's turn. Gibbs. The #1 draft picks combining. Waite's been thrust forward in some Blues renovations, and he does that really well. Great kick as it was to Brown. No real margin for error on the kick for Simpson. And can this be just as clean? Go up, I didn't have to move a muscle.
Well, that'll do it. I mean, that's a soft goal. Yeah, that's a soft one. I mean, they didn't have to work that hard for that, so there won't be a lot of blokes in the team tonguing it. And that, I mean, people underestimate easy goals, how good they are for the team, because there's not a lot of hard work done. And I guess Simpson ran hard, but the adrenaline will still be going because he kicked a nice goal.
Goal to Simpson, margin back to 26 points. And it doesn't take long, it doesn't take much, Malcolm, for clubs to get run-ons. Judd trying to get involved in the contest. He does. Little fumble, somehow gets clear. Handball wasn't great to Gibbs, or he should have given it back to him. He didn't. Instead gives it to Murphy, who kicks it wide to Stevens. Now Judd's forward of the play here. Stevens decides to go to Favola, whose hands are very good in front of his face. And he's marked 49 metres from goal. And we know what he can do from outside 50. And I wonder whether this might just lift the spirits of Carlton. Brendan Favola kicked 4 goals in the first half. didn't really get an opportunity in the third quarter, a quarter dominated by the Crows. They kicked 6 goals to 2 in that third quarter from outside 50. That is a superb kick. Favola has 5, the margin back to 20. Will Brendan Favola be the one to lift them? Certainly Judd involved. He's been the key inspiring factor in all these comebacks, getting involved there at inside the centre circle.
Yes, it's. I'm just watching that very closely then, and Simon Goodwin actually had a chance to mop it up, and he just overran it slightly, and the other skipper, Judd, did his bit.
Chris Judd, what leadership he's shown through the season. His first one at Carlton. Is he going to be the man to generate the footy out of the middle? He certainly knows how to do the business. Wiggins hitting it hard. The Blues, they're coming from all angles. It opens up for Stevens. Decides to press on and go for glory and goal. Points is the margin. Here's that old Adelaide song, here we go, but it's not the Crows, Blighty, it's the Blues.
Here we go again. Just watch this. Big jump from and tap. Clean, quick kick. So you don't have to be too tricky in the middle. Good contest all round, and it just unfolded with Stevens running hard from the middle of the ground. Balanced, took his time, knows the ground pretty well, and kicked it beautifully. Oh, big effort here.
This is fantastic stuff. Chris Judd inspiring another Carlton comeback. Can they kick another? Cloak beaten this time by Marriage. Gibbs stole the footy from him. Now Murphy running hard. Scotland can kick a goal from outside 50. He lines up, measures it offline.
Can the adrenaline get the better of them?
Well, the adrenaline got the better of Scotland. Not that he tried to miss it. I mean, it was a soda, really, wasn't it? Nice and clear, and just didn't nail it. That momentum shift now gives the Crows a chance.
Stevens into the space, and Carrazzo takes it over and out.
Yeah, get another goal there, get the next one out the middle, and it's a 2-point ball game. I mean, that's how close this game can be, just by kicking goals. Points sap energy.
Marriage farming it down to Thompson, and nothing doing. Clearances, I think, what, 5-1 for the quarter, Chris?
Yeah, Chris Judd's had a couple, so some concerns for Neil Craig.
And they're all helping out at the moment. All hands on deck. Gibbs, look at Judd. He's closing on the footy. Sheer willpower, but you got to give credit to Symes. He locked him up.
Jeez, he went from a metre behind to a metre with him and a metre in front.
And the thing he did different to Symes was he kept his feet. Symes went to ground, and that's why he's such a great player.
McKay stripped of it. Thompson, all about territory for the Crows. Extra number back for the Blues across half back. Hoping for a free kick, the Adelaide crowd. Nothing doing, said the umpire. Goodwin playing a bit of tunnel ball. Again, there's more Crows there. Big Marriage, a big body to move, but nothing stopping Chris Judd at the moment. Carrazzo out the back door for Walker. Still not the easiest ball to handle, but he had a quick look around the corner and he saw Simpson applied enough physical pressure. Now a good old-fashioned one-on-one. He had Wiggins up his sleeve. Simon Wiggins does the percentage things, goes for Favola. Oh, he almost got it. Brown, normally a defender, not a forward, just couldn't take it with him. And McLeod with the relieving kick, and now it's up to Douglas.
Douglas on centre wing. This would really hurt the Blues towards Gill. Thornton did superbly to make ground and affect the spoil. The outside of the boot was clever. Off to Murphy and half back, so the Blues can breathe a sigh of relief there as he finds Waite. Waite chips it short. Taken by Austin. Looks to be playing forward.
Gee, the Crows had a real opportunity then, didn't they? The kick just didn't find Gill. Now it's Carlton's turn.
Carrazzo, not a great kick from Austin. Oh, gee, Carrazzo slipped, allowed Symes to tackle. Austin's handball wasn't great, blocked by McLeod, and they tie it up, and the umpires picked the free kick out here. And it's going Carlton's way. Not quite sure what that was for.
High tackle.
Okay, so Brown to take it. 2 kicks from goal. Kicks it in the direction of Cloak and Favola. Ball to the back. Chance for Simpson. Doughty and hot pursuit. Wiggins took a long time and kicks, but the mark's taken, a clever one taken by Cruiser, just the 15.
You reckon he'll kick this? He's a lovely kick.
He hasn't missed a goal all year.
But that's, I guess, the reason why the question.
So here he goes. He wheels onto the right boot, straightens up and kicks a behind.
There you go.
So he's
got him
behind of the year. 10 goals won now for Matthew Cruiser in his league career.
Now, is he the first guy to kick 10 goals straight and then kick a point with his 11th shot at goal in the history of the game?
Well, I've done my research and I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a player that's ever done that.
Yeah. All right. Crows bolting through the talented Douglas. Hasn't had a lot of it today. Has some ability. Left it behind. Things starting to go right for the Crows as Cruiser kicks quickly. Cloak just not quite there, but gee, battled on hard. So did that man Bassett. Deals it off for McLeod. Good awareness of where Favola was. He's just hatching the ball, and Favola's able to win the day and delayed the kick. Wiggins, good, solid spoiling stuff by Massey. They're locking up. It's tightening up. The squeeze is on here at AAMI Stadium, and the Blues are locking it in. Judd having a little rest for a bit of recuperation.
Well, Symes jumped on it, and that is the rule. I don't think it's, I mean, the old style it wasn't, but he jumped on the footy, dived on it.
What about this for Brendan Favola?
Sure.
He's got the long run up. We know he can land the big kicks.
I bet you he gets the distance.
He's been capable of kicking crucial goals in the mark. He argues the point. Thought it might have been over the mark, Rutten. Now, this is where it can hurt on the reverse. Edwards for Gill. He's got Marich running hard in the pocket. Jamison helped run him under the ball. This is Stevens with a clean-up operation. And now Thornton. It's a 12-point ball game, and the Blues have to be careful on their way out, but not too careful. This is Carazzo for Jordan Russell, who replaced Joe.
Russell at half-back. Carlton in control at the moment. They still trail, though, by 12 points. Dangerous kick, and it's intercepted. It was intended for Scotland. Chopped off by Edwards. Off to Doughty. Crows pressing. Gill, March, point of the square, right half forward. Gave it off to Campbell. Wasn't quite expecting it. He kicks towards the goal square. Marich, chance at ground level. Carazzo and Thompson. Carazzo did superbly. Was legged. And we'll get the free kick. Advantage played. Thornton to Stevens. Walker had to stretch, but okay. The left boot. He kicks around the wing. Wiggins and Massey. Well done, Wiggins. Ball to the back. Well, some indecision there between Wiggins and Brown. And again, the Crows win out 3-on-2. McLeod at half-back, plenty of time.
Geez, if someone can kick it properly, kick it to a teammate, they'll win the game. Either side.
Edwards.
They've just levelled up the momentum battle, the Crows, for the moment, haven't they? So it's back to a bit of a neutral contest.
Yeah, but no one's found a teammate inside 50 for the last half an hour.
Both sides still enjoying the extra man, I guess, Blighty, making it hard to find a way through. Carazzo on the outlet. This is Walker delivering for Simpson. Who's going to be cleanest, as Blighty said? Could be very telling. Simpson's been prominent. They've just got so much more zip about them, the Blues, in this quarter. Scotland missed the one earlier. Takes the time. And again, he misfires. Moran just through for a behind. And Scotland, who's such a nice kick, has missed a couple of crucial ones in this term.
Well, he had Cameron Cloak all by himself, 25 from goal. So the Crows bring it out. Doughty.
It really is just the kicking at the moment, isn't it? I mean, everyone's working hard enough, but the kicks are just, I mean, even the goals, the last few shots have just been terrible.
Off short to Massey.
Find a teammate.
Massey short. Symes. Oh, gee. Free kick there against Walker. Symes hurt in that incident.
Don't give it away. Go away.
Yeah, he's okay. He gets up to take his kick. Off towards Campbell. He's got a long left foot kick. He kicks to the top of the goal square. In from the side, Marich not quite. He fights on. Jamison applies the tackle. What's the umpire going to do here? He's going to ball it up 15 metres from the Adelaide goal.
Well, this is the first ball up we've seen for a while. You know, that someone's actually stopped the ball in their forward line. Obvious free kick there. Big play here.
Cruiser. Judd back on the ground. Handballs it wide to Armfield. Needs to be clean. He is. Carazzo comes back inside and finds Stevens. Judd kept running. He might get on the end of this, Chris Judd. Gibbs, beautiful kick into the path of Gibbs. Didn't have to break stride. And the Blues a big chance here. Gibbs can keep going. Decides to kick to Favola in the goal square. margin, 10 points.
That's the drama of this unfolding. Is something going to happen here? Do you get a sense that this is something something big's going to happen?
Could come down to a decision late in the game, Chris.
Or could be Favola from the boundary line again. Could history repeat itself?
Plenty of nervous tension, both on the field and in the stands. Simon Goodwin, maybe an experienced hand will make the difference. Scotland,
another poor kick.
Steady as she goes. McKay was pressing. This is Jamison. And the Blues again have got the extra number, at least to run it out of defence. It's when they look forward like this that nowhere really to go. And that's asking an awful lot of a man the size of Kade Simpson to try and take that mark against players of Nathan Bock's size and ability and experience. Van Berlo. So which team is going to be able to think their way through to score a goal? The Crows with the advantage on the scoreboard. Gibbs kicks quickly, goes for the great wide hope that is Brendan Favola.
No, don't bounce that way. Don't.
No, it didn't. Just for a moment we thought, what a calamity from both players. First McLeod with the swing and the miss, and then young Brown overrunning it and stumbling it through for a behind. And the margin is back to 9.
Stevens short, Massey.
I don't think I've seen a game with 15 or 20 minutes where there's been so many chances, but just none taken.
McLeod kicks to Vince. Actually thought taken high there. No free kick. Van Berlo, Marriage all by himself. Wide, back to Van Berlo, knocked up, getting possessions, kick towards Moran. Jamison, was he holding on? Goodwin at the fall, well tackled, 3-on-3 in the pocket. Ball locked up, umpire McInerney just letting it go.
He's going to pay it.
And it's going to be an Adelaide free kick against Jamison. And it'll be taken by Gill, who is not the most accurate kick in the team.
Do you reckon that was a free kick? A lot of players there, wasn't there?
Yeah. 1 goal, 2 today. For the season, he has 12 goals, 14. He comes in. This is a very difficult angle, and he misses everything. So, free kick to the Blues. And let's have a look at this free kick. There's Goodwin going in.
Gets rid of it, gets done. And there's the ball sort of ends up
under Jamison.
He didn't dive, but he didn't really drag it in by the look of that. Anyway,
I reckon the footy got squared it up.
It's history now. It's still a 9-point lead. And this is Grigg, who's done the job on Goodwin for much of the day. Brings it in for Scotland. Now Murphy facing away from goal. I guess he always had Judd there as some insurance. Not a bad policy, that one. Wiggins, they want to give it to Judd at all costs. And they still want to give it to Judd. Cruiser, here's the other man to go for. Favola, but Rutten, using those big wide hips and his strength of the legs, takes the mark.
Stevens is on here.
Lays it off to McLeod, and now Stevens. Will it go out of bounds? He just keeps it in. Legs pumping as fast as he can. Inside 50 for Gill and Moran again. Thornton, Walker, can the Blues get it out? Everyone seems happy with that. There's some tired legs out there at both ends of the ground. Down to you, Corey.
Yeah, guys, this stadium is a cauldron of nervous tension. The fans can feel it. They know their players, their Crows players, are almost out on their feet. They're battling hard, but Carlton just keep coming. They're biting their nails at every second.
Here's Murphy and Armfield. Fishes on through the middle. Armfield has the audacity to have it bounce and then kick to Fisher. The mistakes continue. No free kick there. They're just slick of hands through the middle from the Crows. Maybe one handball too many. Who's got the desperation and the cleanness? Not bad there from Gibbs. That was terrific stuff. The architect of this move forward. Stevens with Judd applying the help. Is that deliberate?
Certainly was.
Umpire Ryan, your boy's on the spot, Chriso.
Are you happy now, Chriso?
Good decision by umpire Ryan.
He was quite right. He was right.
Stevens kicks. Again, the kick poor. Fisher forced to just scrap it into the attacking 50. Rutten versus Favola. A little jumper grab by Favola. And a free kick to Rutten.
I don't reckon there's been a kick to a team at inside 50 for, feels like 3.5 hours.
Well, time ticking away, and Crows are doing a good job holding Carlton at bay. Symes marks inside the defensive 50, kicks across the ground to Dowdy. No one stands the mark. For Favola. Stands off him. He kicks back to McLeod.
there's been 3 marks inside 50 for the last quarter, Bloody.
Yep.
Bassett.
They came a bit earlier.
2 to Carlton, 1 to Adelaide.
Oh, look at this. Free player Van Berlo coming in for, well, he's dominated proceedings, no doubt about that. Van Berlo on centre wing. He kicks towards Gill and Thornton. Well done by Grigg. Third man up, spoiling away. Good turn, Thornton. And over for a boundary throw-in.
And the crowd on that side are calling it deliberate. Isn't that gorgeous?
Here's the one from before.
Yeah, that's well spotted, really.
It's fair enough.
Yep.
And there's a little grab there by Favola in the free kick. Van Berlo up to 38 disposals. As it comes back to Doughty, just jams it on the boot towards Stevens. Moran, Carazzo getting in the way. Well played. Paddled to his own advantage and kept his feet, and then handballs to Scotland. And the Blues, they're running out of time though.
Oh, this is stirring stuff at AAMI Stadium. Carlton need to conjure 2 goals. Can they do it? Stevens and Gibbs. Again, the high prize recruits for the Blues involved, and again falling down across half forward. McLeod takes the mark, and the Crows might just have defence in mind from here on in. Back to Rutten. Now, if Carlton can man up, they can apply a bit of pressure here on the Crows while the ball is still deep in their forward line. Have they sorted it out? Not quite. Still there's a Lucy back, and that tactic might have to change for Carlton. Might have to change very quickly as they're eroding the clock here. Is it too early to do this?
Well, I would have thought there's still probably 4 or 5 minutes to go.
Well, I don't know about that. So we clicked into the final 5 minutes right on the 20-minute mark, and there hasn't been too many stoppages in that time.
Gee, there wasn't much in that kick making it, and it's gone out, and that'll suit the Blues.
The positive is, Malcolm, if Carlton can kick a goal, the easiest way to kick a goal is from a centre square clearance. So if they can kick one, the chance they might be able to squeeze another.
Shirley.
50.
Got the handball away. Carazzo, Arnfield. Blues combining well. He took a moment too long. He just escaped young Arnfield. Long ball. All the Blues are trying to take it on themselves to kick these goals. They're going for the big long miracles. Perhaps they need to just, it's easy to say, just find a teammate a bit closer to home.
Or kick straighter.
Yeah, well, that's the other option, Blighty, isn't it?
It's always a good one, I reckon.
8 points to margin now.
Yeah, but all else fails, kick a goal.
Knees are shaking there, Chris.
McLeod back to Stevens, and
I think they've actually got it now. Carlton, they're just not chasing hard.
well, the obvious thing to say is they've got a man up, and they're just not doing it at the moment.
Well,
now they seem to have got them.
There's one short because Rutten's by himself.
So called to play on now, Edwards, and forced to kick wide. He did it beautifully. Picked out Van Berlo, who decides to play on disposal number 39, and he finds Gill, who led hard from half forward.
Trying to target. You just need to be cool, calm, collected. Or otherwise kick it 50 metres backwards. Nice target finding. Oh, well, this is the game. Now it's up to Carlton now.
Now Bassett's loose. Doughty decides to kick long, and that's it. It's all over. A wonderful, stirring victory this afternoon by the Adelaide Crows. They trailed in the second quarter by as much as 16 points, but have hit back hard and have survived another Carlton comeback to win by 8 points.
That got away for the Blues. They kicked 3-6 to 1-2 in that final turn, but you must give the credit to the Adelaide Crows. There's Chris Judd, disappointed man. Down to Corey.
You got Nathan Van Berlo with me, and mate, that was a phenomenal performance. The blokes really had to guts it out. 2 down on the bench.
Yeah, look, terrific effort by the boys. We've done it twice this year now. Port Adelaide early in the year, and today to lose Porps and Nida. You know, real test of the group, but we've got a real strong culture at the club, and really proud of the boys. We got the result in the end. It was a true grind and a great effort.
You covered over 14 Ks and had nearly 40 touches as well. Did you just have to dig extra deep because of the minimum guys on the bench?
Yeah, we knew we had to at half time, and Nida, as I said, Porps went down, but you know, we're backing ourselves in to run the game out, and greater numbers from the boys prevailed in the end, so it was a terrific result, and back on track now.
The boys really rallied around the Jason Portleisha incident. What was your take on that when the guys all got together?
Yeah, look, we just had to stay in control. We knew the umpires were going to be hot on free kicks after that incident, and you know, the boys just said try and rally together and get us over the line for Porps, and hopefully he's all right, and you know, we'll enjoy this win for sure.
Finals now. Can you start talking about finals? Are you confident you can really make a kick on from here?
Oh, look, we'll just keep taking it 1 week at a time, and look, we're a really confident group. We're pretty confident we can get there, and if we get there, we never know what can happen. We know our best is capable of beating anyone in the competition, so we just got to keep building on today.
Well done, mate. Good job.
Thank you, Corey. It was a day out, wasn't it? 40 disposals for Nathan Van Berlo. There's the Fev, 5 goals, 1, and some crucial contests against Ben Rutten. But it's all credit to the Adelaide Crows. Excuse me, Blighty.
It's I quite enjoyed the game, actually. I mean, there was something to like about it. It's just that last quarter. Gee whiz, if they could only have found a mark, I think both teams will probably learn a bit from that.
Yeah.
But Carlton McGallant, Crows were great.
4 goals for Brad Moran. What a day he's had. And the Crows have got home by 8. Terrific afternoon's entertainment here at AAMI Stadium.